Week 2, Playday number 1 here at Talent League Rainbow Six Siege. We head into the minor league. This time around, it's actually just our first game in the minor league. It's recognized talent up against Team Invictum. I'm Time to Light. That right there is Puff for Bob. Bob, how you feeling about these games?
I mean, it's my first time casting here in Talent League, so don't go too hard on me, to be honest. But yeah, for the first game, we're going to be going into Clubhouse, it seems like. I mean, to be honest, from my opinion, of course, Clubhouse is a bit of a generic map to be picked. We've seen way too much Clubhouse in Oregon. It's just a 50-50 between defenders and attackers. We haven't seen much Coastline or Bank or something like that. But yeah, we're going to be heading into the first game as soon as we do have confirmation from both teams. Now, like, what's your opinion on Clubhouse, I guess you could say?
Boring map, played too much, play something else, plus ratio. That's my current opinion. But taking a look at our map bans, you can see they banned stuff down to Clubhouse. That's where we're heading. Oregon was a default ban. I was very happy about that. When teams haven't played specific maps or they haven't played at all, a default ban is administered in Talent League. One thing that I love is when a team plays a map in the previous week, when they pick a map, especially in the Major League, that map is then banned for the following play day for that team. It's an amazing addition. It means we don't play Oregon every single week. It's something different and something new. I personally love to see it. It's always exciting to see. But as we now head into Clubhouse, that means we get one of the more boring Core 3 maps, the Core 3 being Cafe, Club, and Oregon. Notably, it's named Oregon for a reason.
I mean, yeah, you do have a pretty fair point from your perspective. Yet again, Clubhouse is the same type of boring map that we've seen way too much, and we want to see a bit more action from Coastline. A very exciting attacking plays, I guess you could say. Yet again, we are still waiting for the confirmation, but recognized talent is going to be facing on versus Team Invictum, and we have been notified that we are ready to go. So we should be heading in very soon. I do like that you ratioed Oregon on its own. I have not heard that term before. A very interesting term. But yeah, we're going into the match. We're starting going in. So what map bans or actually operator bans are you presuming will go on?
I'd expect to see a little bit more of a normal set of bans, especially here from the minor league. I'm looking for possibly a Thatcher Flores combination on the attacking side, maybe Thatcher Hibana. That wouldn't surprise me all that much, but it is really up to the teams. Maybe they have a counter ban against their opponents. They could be scrimming. Well, never mind, with a recognized talent banning out Hibana. That's what you're used to seeing. And Invictum in tandem should be banning out this Thatcher. If I do say so myself, that seems to be the call. It is indeed.
Yeah, I mean Thatcher and Kate are just the duo, I guess, of bands you could say. Hibana, of course, being very strong on garage plays and just for hatches in general, it's gonna make it a bit more tough for Invictium for the first round. But right now we're going into the first ban on defense, so we can safely assume it's gonna be probably a Kate since he is a very deadly operator. And talking about Kate, he is off the board instantly. Now on Mira, now on defense yet again. We can actually assume that Mira may get banned. We can also see a bit of Valkyrie that's been in the meta for quite a while for now, it seems like. Not maybe doesn't have the best gun, but her gadgets are most definitely threatening. So for the second ban on defense, it is going to be Valkyrie indeed. But yeah, we're going to be ending off the ban phase and going into the first round. Do you have any predictions for how this will go, Light?
I've seen recognized talent before, notably last season. I saw a little bit of Invictum as well, but not as much as I would love to see. Hopefully that changes this season. I'm looking to see a lot more of these teams. By the way, I get to produce every Thursday, so you guys can't get rid of me. I really want to see a lot more uniqueness out of these squads, notably different bands, different picks, stuff along those lines. Recognize talent on this defensive side. Look like they're bringing your normal setup for CCTV cache. They are bringing the bandit, which is a little interesting, if I do say so myself. That can be cleared out relatively easily by those Rotera drones or by really any utility brought for the stacking side. They do have the mute to counter the Rotera drones, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, Bandit does seem like a bit of a free kill for the attacking side, meaning that a lot of a frag meta has been occurring in Siege lately, and even with the Flores drones, who have been extremely strong, especially on Oregon, or Boregon as you'd say it before, yeah, Bandit does seem a bit of an off pick, just saying at the end, the, the breach is probably going to get open once at least, since Maverick is still not actually banned. But yeah, we're gonna be heading out in the first round. Jerry showing us a bit of his wiggles, I guess you could say, on those rafters. He's very ready for any fight coming in. But yeah, we're gonna be really into action phase right now. Yet again, I'm still not sure about that bandit. It seems a bit off since yet again we do have a Finka and Sledge and Yana, so grenades will be very very deadly in this match.
And just the Gon 6 as well. You can use the Gon 6 on the Finka or the Ayana, so not even having to waste those nades in terms of clearing out utility. You could just use them in terms of lethality later on. That's certainly a possibility. Whether that comes to fruition or not is a different story. Seems like that's going to be the case here for Densar. They also have those Rotaragens, or they had the Rotaragens, and the 6th pick came through, so, no Flores for me to speak of. Densar looking to set up the Gon 6, but they need to do that from below, and Invictum need to do so quickly. Wasting this time is not good for their attack. 45 seconds gone already, and they've gotten very little out of this round.
Yeah, I mean, a minute, like you said, a minute is already almost passed,
Whoa!
and the C4 gets thrown out, but cancelled by the Finka, taking out the bandit right before he can snatch those 2 kills. Raptor's almost getting pre-fired through that smoke. That went intense real quickly. It was maybe 45 seconds, but action took it into his hands very pacely and fastly, I guess you could say. But it's going to be a bit of a split push on Jim's side, which is pretty common. Jaeger's already there for it. He's trying to maybe going for a bit of a sneak kill from Jim's side. It looks like being a bit of a sneaky boy, trying to catch off some prey for him. But yeah, that bandit. It was a bit of a shocking death for him. Sledge opening that door. They are ready for the Jim. Jaeger getting taken out by Discount. That is the second kill of Discount. He's maybe gonna go on a bit of a roll. Let's hope we can see an ace in his hands. But yeah, that's mostly all I gotta say.
Recognized talent, a decent start-ish in terms of locking down ground, but not great in terms of their manpower, or in this case, lack thereof. Notably, there is still a C4 and 4 impacts left over. That's a lot of lethal damage that can come through onto this attacking Invictum's side, but they need more. This exothermic charge can go down. Now, will it explode? There should be a mute germ on the other side, but there is not. It's been dealt with early on. Nexi going through. C4 misses entirely. The shotgun will as well. There's the swing. There's the kill with the nade. Shock with a
Ooh.
quad. Falls apart here for this recognized talent side. Invictum pick up round one.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. We couldn't see Discount get that ace since Shock stuck it right out of his hands with that grenade and the L85 shot. It was a bit of an intense round and it came down quickly to the execute, but sadly, it didn't go as well as thought to recognize there. Sadly, those two early kills on the Bandit and the Jaeger were a big influence to the round, of course. They're having no room and being pressured from all sides. That proved to be their loss of the first round. But we're going on to round two, and of course, recognizing that CC wasn't the best plan for them, they're going to be moving into basement right now. And we already see a mirror, which is an extremely deadly operator, if not taken care of course. That C4 and some rotations in hand. She can be quite a lethal weapon, I guess you could say. Especially since now attack repick isn't I guess in the phase, you could say. An IQ or a Twitch could change it all up. We also see a zero coming into play, so Mirror will not be as strong if not watched carefully. But yeah, we're gonna be. It's still the prep phase, and let's go back to the previous round. What do you think Recognized did wrong? What was there any communication skills or anything like you noticed, Light?
It was a regression. I feel they were in positions that they couldn't handle in terms of their overall manpower. They didn't have that trade ability there, nor the trade power, and it costs them. Dropping early kills isn't the worst thing in the world if you can trade them back, and that's just not what happened. And Victim got good opening frags, were able to build off of that, and it just fell apart for recognized talent. A flawless first round is almost never what you want to face up against, especially on the defensive side of Clubhouse, and that's exactly what we saw to kick things off. They're already pushing down dirt. There
Ooh.
is nobody here to deal with this. They finally figure out it's a possibility, but Discount looking to push through, trying to take out the Malusi early.
Yeah, I mean, Denzer's already taken off some HP, especially being the floors. That is not a good sign since utility is his power, I guess you could say. The gun may not be the best, but I'd rather have a Finka taking some damage than the floors since, his gadgets are extremely powerful. But it seems like they're pushing in from dirt, taking that advantage very quickly, and Kitchen's already being slowly opened by the Thermite, but getting impacted tricked on the last second. The Thermite only has one, actually, no more charges. It's a bit of an unfortunate turn of events since they only have hard breaches from zero. So if he gets taken out, Hatches will not be such such a point to really go for it. But yeah, there some pressure was on Dirt, but it didn't seem to work really. It was maybe a bit of a rush plan, but we also see a Thunderbird actually roaming upstairs. It's going to be a bit of a hasty fight up here since there's not much, I guess, of a trade or refrag option for her. So it's really all or nothing right here. And yeah, but we're gonna see some gunfights going on. Shock taking a decent amount of HP, but the Thunderbird already taking action. Doesn't seem to work well, and their guard is on point right now, knowing there's someone upstairs ready to take them out. The Zero starts actually puts down a flank cam, but no one's there to watch it, and he takes that position, taking out the main camera. Thunderbird's being very cautious not to lose any men, as time has been wasted dearly on that case, I guess you could say. Finka actually Buck taking out the Jaeger, who doesn't have much utility ring, but that 416 carbine can sure pack a punch. And the Buck taking out the Thunderbird, but not giving him the option. Reezer does take out the Buck, which is going to be verticality being denied and discount with his third pick of this game, or fourth even. And Denzer also taking them out. Plant is going down. It's a 2v4 for recognized, and they're in a very post-plant, apocalyptic, I guess you could say, position. We already have someone on bottom main watching for that mirror, and a rotation is going to be denied. Jerry taking out bottom main, and it's now a 2v2 with both being on hatch. Jerry's going on a spree. Someone from hatch being a bit of a sneaky, I guess, protector, you could say, going for the actually, for the plan denial, it is not going to be such an option as Zero does make it a 1v1, and since time is being wasted pretty dearly, the Thunderbird is left with no choice but to give up. The angles are being held very cautiously, trying to bait it out, almost killing him actually through the floor randomly. Almost worked out, but not quite. 6 seconds, and that is going to be the win. Second match for Invictum, or second round, should I say, going for a bit of a drop hip fire shot on the Mira.
No way. I refuse to believe that round actually happened. It didn't. They were allowed to drop down hatch with no repercussions. A good retake from recognized talent, but not getting the final kill on towards that zero. An errant C4 that could have been placed a little bit better. The information just not there and not waiting for your flank to come through before you swing yourself on the Thunderbird down below. That's what cost recognized talent the round. They could have had it, yet they didn't because of their over aggression early on, albeit it was early in a post plant rather than early in a round, as we saw in round number one, but still just as applicable. Invictum bringing a very similar composition to what we saw in the previous round. Zero is probably my favorite operator to the game. The versatility of that operator specifically is so vast for especially the map of Clubhouse. You have two hard breach utilities. You have those Argus cameras that have that shock factor, both in terms of freaking the heck out of your opponents and shocking their utility down, be there uh, an Electro Claw, and a Bandit battery, what have you. You can take that out with the Argus cameras, and you get four of them. Doesn't hurt that the SC 3000K is also a pretty nuts gun to put a 2x on.
Yeah, Zero's one of the only operators that can pretty much do everything by himself. And I mean, to be honest, I don't blame you for him being your favorite operator. Who would not be down bad for that beard? And he comes from Splinter Cell as well, so they did make him a bit of a grandpa, but hey, he can still kick ass in Siege. But yeah, we're gonna be moving on actually again into Church. It seems like Invictium doesn't have the brightest start. They had a bit of an opening right there at the end with Jerry taking out two people and making it a 2v2, actually almost winning the round. But yet again, it didn't work out quite well. So we're going to be pushing Kitchen again, and there isn't going to be such an easy pick for now, it seems like. But Thermite's already taken out, so they're going to put some pressure on it really quickly. But yeah, it's a bit of a shock what happened the earlier round, really.
Still, that shock factor is there. Decent bit of ground already gained from Invictum, but they need more and quicker. 35 seconds gone, now 40 seconds gone, and they don't even have that top floor control. They're looking to clear out this roam, and it's taking them a long time to do so. And with a lack of help on this buck, it's going to be a massive challenge for them. Nice opener from Marga, bringing through that Mossberg. The M90 will find that opener. Down goes the Finca. Those adrenal surges no longer available. Only one has been used, and that's now expired. No help whatsoever in the HP department for the attacking side. And Lycan already falling down to 50 health is not a good start to this round. Even more, it's compounding problems over compounding problems. And I'm not talking about mathematics here, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, they are really trying to get this kitchen breach, and they do manage to get it. The impact trick did actually fail for some reason. But yeah, that opening on discount wasn't as bad as taking out Buck or Zero with hard breaches. So I guess they could have spared a gun or two. It seems like, and verticality's still coming in. But over a minute and a half has passed, and they still haven't begun to actually. They're still preparing for the execute, but Kenny actually does take out Marga down in Ruin, or Dirt, you should say, and Lucan does also take out the Alibi, so it's going to be a bit of a man advantage for Invictium, and also Flores using those drones to their finest. It seems like destroying that Malusi, but someone's still in Armory, and the Malusi on flank gets taken out, and also Dems are taken out. Skull, it's really a tough situation for Mira here. She's in a 1v3. Maybe she can still clutch it up, getting that smoke shot on the kitchen hatch. It's getting really intense. Flores pushing her up, but the kitchen hatch is still waiting with someone to finish her off. That was really quick paced and intense.
Attacking side continuing to show their prowess. This is a round they really earned, and Denzar dropping the nice shot in chat. You love to see both the sportsmanship and the clean shots coming through on the attacking side. Recognized talent falling yet again to just gunfights. That time it was compounding issues, just different compounding issues, gunfights and map control, or in recognized talents, the lack thereof. Invictum taking a lot of control early on, that being the catalyst to their success for now a third round running. To the gym bedroom, go recognize talent, their quaternary site choice. I don't know how I feel about gym bedroom with their current composition.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a decent loadout with Mira and yet again Mute being a choice, but no Bandit or even Castle in play, which is new to me myself. So I guess there can be new things coming to Clubhouse. It's a bit weird seeing something that being constantly repeated on this map, like the same as Oregon. But hey, first time for everything, I guess you can say. But yeah, previous match yet again, it was a bit unfortunate how quickly people were getting picked off, especially on defense. I guess there was yet again we didn't see as much trade. We saw the defense first get a kill, but then a trade was happening for Invictium, and they got another one, and no trade actually happened for defense. So it was a bit unfortunate. Maybe they can change up with adaptivity. Who knows? But let's hope we actually do see a bit of a change. Maybe winning 3 rounds on defense, since yet again this is a bit more of a defense favored map. So yeah, we'll just have to see from this point on.
It helps with the attacker repick for the attackers. You could see recognized talent continuing to try and throw curveballs the way of this Invictum attack. Thus far, they've been unsuccessful. Invictum have been winding up and knocking those curveballs out of the park. That's a baseball reference for all of you people who don't play baseball. But recognized talent on this defensive side need to hold longer angles and not allow themselves to be put into more difficult positions. That's a good opener. Noxie dropped early, and that's not a good start. And a compounding issue now on the other side. Invictum dropped too early. A good Nitro cell from Reezer finds one, and down go the Thermite and the Finka early. Not a great start by any means here for Invictum. Uncharacteristic early mistakes, but it's really a lack of mistakes. It's recognized talent finally recognizing their own talent.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a switch up role. It was always Invictium taking their players out first really quickly, but they seem to have switched up their playstyle, and even this Jaeger backing up, they're playing a bit more safe, but smarter. Smarter, not harder, I guess you could say. Now, we also have a bit of a CC push, like the usual one. The hard breach is also taken out, but it's not going to be a bit of a split push since Fink and Thermite are already out of the game, so yeah. It seems like Melusi's already going for a bit of a cheeky play, maybe even a run out on the Twitch rippling up, but doesn't seem like so. And actually, Chaos taking out Luke, and that is going to be the heavy hand of the team, the one with the most frags, and the last hard breacher of that match is going to be actually taken out.
2 versus 5 in these situations, you're in an awkward spot. That's a good weird angle to play and if you're on the attacking side and you need a gamble play. Chaos trying to bring the chaos, bring some damage, but no kill, at least not onto Shock. Denzar will be DBNO'd. It's into the 1 versus 5. Here's the swing. That should be the kill. Shots missed. Shock does find one. 1 versus 4 now is the swing. The second attempt does not hit. That one won't matter. Skull will finish him off. Denzar dies to gravity, 9.8 meters per second squared, for all of you wondering. Don't fall off of buildings. It'll give recognized talent rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Siege is just teaching people how to survive at this point. do not jump off of buildings. That's a valuable lesson to everyone watching. But yeah, we're going to be going into round five. One more round after this, and it should be the switch of roles. So if Recognize manage to pull off these two matches, they do have a pretty decent chance of winning. Attack may not be the easiest here, but it's been in the meta so long that, to be honest, whoever doesn't know how to attack on Clubhouse is just living under a rock, from my perspective at least. But yeah, the site we're going to be going on into round five is actually going to go back to CC with the Bandit yet again in play. It's a bit risky with nades being in meta. We already see the Sledge, Yana, and Finka, so a lot of bombs are going to go down, especially on this poor Bandit doing his tricks.
I don't think Bandit's going to be able to trick, unfortunately enough. They're bringing a lot of utility here on the attacking side. There is a lot of utility denial on the defense, but I don't know if it's going to be enough early enough to completely clean it out. Invictum really haven't had that mechanical skill that I'm really looking for from them. You don't have those nades prepped from below and going up towards that bandit to possibly become lethal rather than just tactical. And you're also missing, well, on this defensive side, a lack of spatial awareness. There was almost no utility thrown up towards the rafters position last time around. It was all from that AC window. And I don't know why they're attempting to throw everything in towards Garage when nothing came that way the last time around. Notably, Denzar picking up the Osa rather than the Twitch from what we saw in the previous. Understandably so. Jumping off of buildings is a little less or a little more safe when you have the Talon shields in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, the garage thing, we already see a run
Oh
out
no.
from the Wamai, or Jerry, should I say, and gets shut down by Nuxie. So yeah, going back to the garage thing, I think it's just a part of their strat and they're not really adapting. But yet again, we still see a bandit, so why has he not been taken out is a bit of an issue since time is being wasted very quickly, actually. It's already a minute almost. So with 2 minutes remaining and breach not open, it's going to be a bit hard to rotate for the attackers. And Banditers get taken out on Rafters as Osa pushes in carelessly. What a play, but Razor does take her out. And that is going to be a bit of a trade we see. And it's still a 3v4. And with main breach open, it's a bit hard to rotate in general. So side is pretty much attackers. But yet again, we see Malusi on top red and someone in cash. So it's gonna be a bit of a turtle strat up until this point. But yeah, Romy is still included, and Jaeger is a pixel away from getting taken out. The Finka being very cautious about him. She can still Finka boost, and the HP trade is similar, but Finka can still heal herself up, so shouldn't be much of an issue.
She does pop one of those adrenal surges. The second one and the final one here for the attacking side should be soon to follow. You got about 4 seconds out on that one until it's available. Cooldowns exist, by the way, ladies and gents. Discount waiting to use that. Should pop it as soon as they can. Maybe right after they drone before they peak. Have that full boost availability for the rest of their squad so they can initiate at the highest amount of HP possible. Seems like the call will come through to send everybody in. 60 seconds on that clock and Invictum don't need to go, but they could certainly use a push. In go the flashbangs to burn the utility on this defensive side, but Reezer removing shock on that AC window and another on the discount,
Ooh.
finding two and a triple on the round, looking for a possible ace scenario, but just bringing recognized talent back into the man advantage has put them high enough in this position to force Invictum into mistakes. Ace and Thermite, the final two operators remaining. There's the jump out. There's the information. Lucan will shut that down. Reezer is indeed dropped, and the diffuser can go down. There is a C4 available. That'll go through. Will it land? It will indeed. Nye dies.
Oh.
SMG11 drops him. The 4 versus 3 into the 2 versus 2. Recognize talent when their second round on defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's turning up a little better for them. Reapers did actually manage to get a nasty double kill, picking it up with 3 kills for the round. He actually kind of MVP'd it right there, but the run out did not seem to be the smartest idea. Maybe a bit of a flank would have been better or something like that. But it was just his mind. So yeah, now with CC being unavailable, they're going back to church. So let's see how they can maybe deny the breach on hatch with a bit more structured impact tracking. But yet again, let's see if we can repeat some mistakes that happened in Dirt with the early picks being either or Margot or maybe even Discount. Since it's a bit ironic since most of the time we also see Lucan playing Hard Breach, but he's been the one fragging out. So, sometimes seeing the Hard Breacher with the most kills, it's a bit off, but hey, who am I to judge?
Hey, hard breachers can frag too. Hard breachers are people too. That's my personal opinion. Of course, looking it does help when you hit absolutely nasty shots like we saw in the previous round. It doesn't help when you get C forward while trying to plant. Unfortunately, the plant denial was not cleared out earlier on, and the lack of that utility clearance on this attacking side has cost them in the previous two rounds. Recognized talent have been building back into this map, and as they head to the bottom floor, it's their final defensive round, at least in the first half of play. English is hard. We may go to OT later on, but I still favor recognized talent as they switch sides. Whether they win this or lose it, they have a lot of momentum in their favor, and they can build off of this as they head onto the attacking side, regardless of the result here in round six.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree with it, especially with the part English being hard. That's just a pain, especially for people who want to talk fast. I don't know how Eminem does it. He just speaks like a fucking. He speaks at the speed of light. But yeah, we also see Marga yet again back in there with that shotgun. Not ready to get naded as such, but he is ready to maybe get a pick or two. So, yeah, we're gonna be seeing again a bit more of SMG 11, and Razor does actually take out Nexi with a C4. So, uh, Thunderbird yet again with another pick. But yeah, there's not much happening really, just verticality, the same old, and doesn't seem like anything will be going off for now.
Shock looking straight down, playing that soft breach from above, really being a pain in the side of this defensive side. However, there is still two C4s remaining. They can C4 up and shut him down. Lucan looking through sees the head, but will be found first, looking a little bit lower than Chaos's head. And there's that C4. It does remove discount as the Mossberg removes Densar. That's towards the dirt position. Shock now in a 1 versus 5. Recognized talent. They're looking to tie things up, and Sledge left alone is not a good position for them. Multiple angles they have to clear from multiple different levels of this building, including their own. The stock push could come through. They do find one at a chaos, but I feel like that's just a consolation frag for the attacking side.
Yeah, Shock right there also did kind of deny the, I guess you could say, the flawless round for them. But yeah, recognizes actually starting to back up their own skill, it seems like, making it a 3-3 for now, at least how it's turning out. Shock can still make up with a clutch, expecting a bit of a flank, but no one's actually playing very aggressively. So yeah, actually, we do say actually talking about that. Speak of the devil, Reaper's already ready to get a kill or two, going for a bit of a flank, and Shock trying to pick off with the time remaining. He doesn't have much of a choice but to push down Macers, and Reapers just take him out, winning the third round, making it 3-3. So it's a pretty even score for now. Sadly, the Shock was left alone at the end there, but yeah, we're going to be moving on to a role switch.
It's the flip of sides. We move on to the second half, just as we started the first. Dead even, and like absolutely nothing happened. It's almost as if the first 6 rounds were just a formality, and these 6 now matter. Either team can still win this in regulation. It would require a 4-2 split in the second half of play. If it ends 3-3, as it did in the first half, well, we go to OT. It requires a best of 3 rather than the best of 12 we've seen and we will see play out thus far. Regulation may not cut it this time. And I wouldn't blame either team for being in this position. Recognized talent really took position back from the early advantage Invictum gained for themselves. Nye looking to build that back, bringing the smoke. I love the toxic babes, especially on the basement. That's a lot of plant denial that I think we missed for this recognized talent squad. At least in the first 3 rounds. Past that, they were really able to build off of it. Quick note, by the way, for all of you watching, you see a 4 versus 5 at the top of your screen. Uh, Unfortunately, the org that makes Rainbow Six Siege is a small indie company. They're known as Ubisoft, so they have some bugs. Sometimes they don't get fixed. That's why you can see a 4 versus 5 at the top of your screen. It's not actually 4 versus 5.
And for people who have been playing this game for quite a while now, it's kind of common at this point, so don't be too surprised. But you know, it's a bit weird. They're actually bringing in a warden, even though they haven't. It's their first run on defense. They haven't been seeing Glass or any Ying plays, but warden's already being brought in. Even with a shield, there are still some better picks. But hey, Shock may like the man with a mustache. Who knows? But yeah, we're going a bit of a Romy style, switching it up. On Recognize, we saw they had a very turtle-like strat. They were very bunked into their site. Now, Invictum, on the other hand, will go all out, not allowing anyone to come down without any like consequences, I guess you could say. But yeah, we see the warden upstairs. We see some roamers
Oh
and
no.
actually Jerry taking out, looking as the refrag rather. Everything's going down pretty quickly. It seems like a rush down. Blue IQ's already in sight and is being picked off. Smoke gets taken out, but it's another refrag. Jerry on a quad kill. This could be actually an ace for him. We could see the first ace of this match as Jerry's trying to get the last pick, seeing where he could go. That shred did not seem to work too best as they just ignored the roamers. It seems like Discount right now post plant in a 1v3, downing someone, making it a 1v2, probably going to get revived, so it's going to get switched up really quickly. Right now, it's very stressful for him. He has so many angles to hold, and even the diffuser is still with 30 seconds remaining. He only has around 20 to go. So Discount doesn't seem to be in a very favorable position as he's the 1v3 and will be taken out by Jerry, making it the first ace of this match, actually. Jerry has been going on a streak, it seems like.
The G8 is just better. Welcome to
Yep.
Rainbow Six Siege. The G8 is better. LMGs are superior. UB please nerf, by the way. Recognize talent, a good first round of the half, and a good flip of things back the other way. Their first lead thus far in this game. They went from 0-3 now up to 4-3 with 4 in a row their own way. Good positioning here for the attacking side, but they need more. Back to the basement and Church Arsenal for this Invictum defense, but bringing a little bit of a different composition. The Maestro, notably enough, I feel like is a good decision, but not exactly what they need. They need to bring trap ops. Recognized talent should recognize that things are not changing all that much here on the Invictum defense and can rush again. There's absolutely nothing in terms of slowing down this attack other than Malushi Banshees and maybe that C4 if you can consider that something to slow it down. But the Banshees are not being put in towards blue. They're being put exactly where they were last time, towards main, in towards church, and further towards that dirt position. Invictum not making the switches we need and recognized talent are Jerry switching off that Nomad in towards the Jackal, the attacker repick coming through to full effect and justifiably so. Recognized talent are looking like a completely different team to what we saw in the first 3 rounds, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, Invictum may not have trap ops and may not be placing their utility as wanted, but there's always an Italian with an Alda to stop it. So that's kind of the rival gun for the Twitch LMG or the IQ LMG. I apologize, but yeah, they're worrying a bit more about flanks and I guess you could say roamers on this time, but Invictum just started to play again. Like recognized a bit more of a turtle strat, wasting a lot more time. It seems like Razor does get taken down with a C4. A lot of C4s have been going now. Discounted
Oh no.
shooting Margot, one of the actually the only hard breacher or the hard support with the diffuser being outside Mulu stairs. It's a very quick pick. Yet again, the minute has not passed, and their main, I guess, hard support, hard breacher, whatever you want to call it, has already been taken out. So it seems like Invictum does have a bit of an upper hand on this one.
Question is, can they now use it to their advantage? The defensive side pivotally needs to now back out. They can't get over aggressive like we saw recognized talent do in the first 3 rounds, or it will cost them the round. That's just the simple fact of the matter. Skull looking to play the 2-floor soft reach. This is where you use the skeleton key through 2 different floors. It's aptly named, I suppose. Skull now looking to set up their teammates as well down those main stairs. It's so flexible on the attacking side, this skeleton key specifically, along with the rest of the soft breach utility you can bring. Chaos locking down a possibility of a roam up. Discount does get removed by Jerry. That's an opening kill back the other way, and exactly what recognized talent are looking for to get back into this one. The early frag didn't help, but they can now build back a little bit better as the 4 versus 4 is right back into the swing of things.
Yeah, so it's back to a 4v4. It seems like no man advantage here. And Jerry's already being in a bit of a hurry, knowing there's only 1 minute left remaining. They don't have much of a setup. That Buck, yet again, like mentioned before, Buck is extremely useful, especially, but he's a bit more limited, I guess you could say, than Sludge, of course. But he's just expandable more in general. Yet again, we still do have impacts in action. So Skull's trying to pick off anyone trying to actually impact trick it. And it doesn't seem to be working as only one hard breach is remaining and it gets taken out, meaning hatches will not be such an option. Also, the thermite being taken out, it is not the best position for them. Trying to play it off verticality, they're going to have to push down or blue or main stairs or even both, as it seems like, but they're all gathering up main stairs, going for a bit of a hefty rush and one moving into verticality. Skull does get damaged, but the footholds onto Moto do get actually used very well by Denzer. Lucan already taken out two people and it's going to be a double kill. But can he take out the triple with Diana taking him out? It is a 1v2, but Denzer does finish it off, dropping the diffuser. There was no the time was limited, sadly, and they didn't have much of a choice at the end there. So it was a bit of a tragic end.
Tragic to say the very least. They walk straight into the toxic babes and straight into the meat grinder that was the Invictum defense. A good compound defense, to say the very least. They basically have just two players across two different positions. It looked perfect for them. Unfortunately, I believe we see a power outage. I don't know how factual that statement is, but if that is indeed the case, we may have to send you to a break. We'll get some more information off of that in just a minute or two. But in the meantime, I think you guys will be able to look back at us as they figure out the in-game situation. I do want to highlight that in Victim, this could kill their momentum. Recognized talent had a disadvantage to kick things off, and this could hurt them in the long run. But neither team's out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, it's a 4-4. It's a very even score. It seems like. Oh, that rhymed. Goddamn. It's an even score, and it still seems like both teams could be going for a very high score in there. Two victories, or actually three, go to one team, and it should be all over. Maybe even seeing a bit of a 6-6 at the end there. But yeah, we're still a bit of a power outage, like mentioned by Late. Uh, but right now, just for information, we're still going into CC. We're pretty calm, and actually, we're going to be seeing Invictum in CC for the first time, and they're not going to bring a bandit, so they're playing it a bit more safe. But
I think the bandit's a little overrated, especially when the Thatcher's off the board. Yeah, you can bring the bandit, but if you don't have that specific utility denial set up around it, these ADSs or the Wamai magnets, it's not going to work. Possibly they set up that mute jammer, but even then it can be cleared out from below. They're bringing the buck. It's relatively simple to clear out that pre-placed utility that you cannot move around fluidly like that Cade Electroclaw because, well, Cade's banned, and a lot of this soft breach is not on the attacking side. We saw that become a massive struggle for recognized talent to deal with on the defensive side, but as soon as they realized that that was a weak point, they backed off of it. There was no reason for them to overpush into situations they had no business playing in. So instead, they backed off. They played in towards cash and around towards red and played their strengths, and that was the ground they already had and that could not pushed from the exterior of the building, notably through that CCTV wall or that AC window. And that ended up costing Invictum not clearing what they needed to, or that utility being used on the defensive side was so pivotal. That's how recognized talent were able to split things dead even at the end of the half.
yeah, I mean, they executed it pretty well, but it was a bit of a, I guess, a switch up for Invictum that actually got them confused. Since last time Invictum played it completely roam free, roamed around the map, and it didn't work out. So they decided to turtle shred, but expected, um, but recognized this time expected the same thing and took their time roam clearing, which didn't seem to work out as well. But we also see Denzar getting disconnected, so it's a bit of an unfortunate turn of events. So we have already two players missing, with a bit of a maybe we'll be seeing a 4v4 for who knows. I am very heavily down that, but yeah, we are talking with the production team currently. But in the meanwhile, there's been a thing I wanted to talk about. Siege is not the most realistic game, right? But to be honest, actually we did get Marga back, so now all we're waiting for is Denzar. But you know, Frost, she has her elite, and the elite has her traps, which are spiked. Now, my question is, how do you walk into a trap and then just get back up?
You're just better. You walk
Better?
out with a lot less HP, notably enough, and you can't get rezzed up by that adrenal surge. So that's one massive weakness. But I feel that the frost mats just cripple you for a short period of time until somebody comes and helps you out. It's like walking around with lower HPs kind of like walking around with a limp, I suppose, after being crapped on. It's a little mean to say the very least to bring a frost at all, but it's always fun. I'd push for a frost in every situation if I'm on this defensive side because nobody clears what's below them. But on recognized talent side, they have been droning out what they need. Last round wasn't as good, but we could look for more for them.
Yeah, I mean, we can always see improvement and adaptivity, but it's just going to be an exchange of who can do it better at the end of the day. Now, while we are still waiting, Recognize has been doing pretty well. Managed to pull their weight at the end, of course. On defense, it wasn't looking the best since the first 3 rounds they actually lost, but they managed to clap back and actually evened it up with 4-4. So we have seen an ace. We have seen an ace, which is pretty crazy to be honest, with the IQ LMG being extremely powerful. Still don't know how people can use the, I guess the which ones does she have as well? She has
G8,
the AUG.
G8, 552, and AUG.
Yeah, the AUG. I still don't see why people use those when the LMG is extremely powerful. But yeah, it seems like we're gonna be going into a bit of a break from what I've been told, and that's gonna be it for me. And Light, if you have anything to say, please do so.
Nope, that's it. We're gonna wait for them to come back. When they do, we will as well. Don't go anywhere. It's the conclusion, at least hopefully, of Clubhouse when we return.
You're so perfect, and I need you. Need me, need me. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me. Give me
I told you we'd be back. I wasn't kidding. It just took a few seconds. Denzar's back, as are we. Round number 9 on the cards. Everybody's ready. At least recognized talent is. Hopefully, Invictum are as well. We'll wait for a response from them in just a few. But a decent position for both teams. Neither of them are completely out of the woods nor out of this one entirely. Both are in decent positions to come back. Notably, if you're just joining us, this is map 1 of 1 between Invictum and recognized talent. I'm Time to Light. I am still joined by the one and only Puffa Bob.
Hello.
Bob, we've already seen 8 rounds of play.
Yes.
What do you think about the teams?
I mean, the start was a bit towards Invictum. They've been proving to, I guess they seemed a bit more warmed up, but recognized it yet again, clap back. They showed that they can still prove to actually even up to the team. So it seemed like an even score. Both teams had downs and ups, and even some players did absolutely astonishing in some rounds, especially I've mentioned before and I'll mention it again that IQ Ace was absolutely astonishing. You get an Italian one from me. But yeah, we're into round 9, so it seems like it'll be a bit more of a longer game. Normally games last, I guess, 9 rounds sometimes even, or some even finish off at a 7-0 score. But yeah, that's just what even teams are like. They can absolutely rival each other, you could say.
Especially in this minor division where you don't always know what you're walking into, especially with these teams. Maybe you've scrimmed them once or twice, but you don't have all the info to work off of. Denzar coming back with a bang, opening kill goes his way. Chaos dies and, well, has fallen into chaos on this attacking side. Finka dropped early means no more adrenal surges for you. None at all, actually. They didn't use a single one. Massive disadvantage early for this recognized talent side, and this is something they really cannot afford, as Invictum have been able to build momentum of their own back the other way with that round win just a few minutes ago. Of course, a little bit of a break in the middle does kind of hinder their momentum, but it's still very much there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a, I guess, a puzzle to actually solve, I guess you could say, at this point. But we're already into action phase. 1 minute has passed, and sadly, Recognize has not made much progress, going for a bit of a master take, and the Logi, I guess, CC side, they're 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 doing it pretty fastly, but we do see a Nomad, of course, who should deny a decent amount of flanks, and yeah, already pings are going down, so we can maybe see a frag or two. But yeah, it's a really quick paced push into CC. They're not going for main breach, meaning that rotation is almost limitless up until this point. We have three people on CC, and they might already going for the breach, actually faking it, getting destroyed from below. And it seems like there's a bit of a rant trying to take out any breach, even for a flank ready. The Melusi's ready to take out both thermite charges, and it seems like maybe Buck does have the hard breaches, but it doesn't work as well as thermite just in general. It's a bit of a backup, I guess you could say.
True. You have that last resort, I suppose you could work with there. They're looking to clear out some of this utility that's hindering them from pushing through that. Notably, it's the mute that's not allowing that hard breach utility to go down. That should be cleared out if it hasn't already. The information will be there, as are the kills now for this Invictum side. Jerry's dropped, down go the Nomad, down goes those air jabs, and they're falling behind here on this recognized talent half. Lucan with yet another dropping skull that time around. It's into the 2 versus 5. Notably, one fragger still up and alive. That's Reezer, who has a 2.0 KD, 10 and 5 thus far through 8 and now a half rounds of play. And they're left alone. 1 versus 3, pushing straight through. They have to clear the close corner, though. I don't think they will. The information should not be there. It is not. There's the swing. There's the kill. Lucan with 3 on the round. Invictum with the lead.
Yeah, I mean that sneak in a corner did really work out for them. Kills were sadly a bit more favored for Recognized, of course. Actually, for Invictum, my mistake. Winning them their fifth round, so two more to go, and they should be securing this W for today. And actually, this is going to be the second time, I believe, of today that we're going to be seeing gym and bedroom. Yet again, we don't see a castle nor a mural, which is a bit of a weird take as strats have been changed up. And we also see Maverick, so it should be a CC gym take as per usual, I guess you could say. And previous round, it was a bit unfortunate. No refrags could be exchanged. One was, but not enough. That one refrag is not enough for five people at the end of the day. And as we see Discount, of course, going Thunderbird. Thunderbird's a really useful operator. She's like Doc, but if Doc were to die, he would still be there. It's like a spirit of Doc, I guess you could say. She's always that nice operator with the gadgets you want to have laying around.
The Kona stations are amazing. I love them. Unfortunately, they don't heal you past your full HP margin, whether that be 100 HP, 110, or 125. They don't heal you past that. Well, they do if you ended up being below it, but they don't immediately heal you from full HP to fuller HP. It's an unfortunate reality and one I hate, but it is a good overall competitive change. It means I can't spawn peak with a free extra 30 HP over top of Rook Armor into a Kali and not die, but that also shouldn't happen in the first place. I died to Callie's now, so it's a feels bad man moment. Nonetheless, I still do it because, spawn peeking is fun, and in ranked, why not? Invictum on this defensive side haven't spawn peaked, at least not in this round. They have to clear out stock. Discount has no idea somebody's in stock. There's the swing. This should be the kill. It is indeed. Chaos does not die first this time around, has the adrenal surges to heal themselves back up, and ironically takes out the only other healer on this map. The Kona stations are put down, as unfortunately for this defensive side is the Thunderbird herself.
Yeah, I mean it was a healer v healer, rather a bit of an ironic matchup, you could say. But Thunderbird does get taken out, and Finka does have a bit of a Thunderbird gadget on herself, so she shouldn't have much of an issue. CC being held pretty strongly still, and the strat's still working up as only I guess the roamer was taken out, and Garage is already taken, so it's gonna be a bit in action wise right here. Razor's already maybe gonna be throwing a grenade on top right. It seems like actually go showing them that he wants a right side breach. Top right is being actually very testified, but Lucan does take a lot of damage, and a Thunderbird gadget is there to support him, but not currently getting droned out. He doesn't have much to do right there, but to fight it. Actually getting taken out, down right there, not finished completely. He's in a very hefty spot as someone's below, and and also Denzar from below by the Finka taken out. That's gonna be a second pick for her. Yeah, I mean Finka, or should I say Chaos has been on a streak, and Skull, Jerry both teaming up to take out anything that opposes them. Being in a 1v5, the Mew does take out Jerry, taking out the right hand, but Skull does finish him off, and that's going to be another round for uh, Recognize.
Yes, recognize talent, pick up a fifth round for themselves. They tie us right back up. Again, it's like we never left the operator band phase. However, now these final two rounds, the most important. If you win this, you're on to match point and can win in regulation. If you lose it, you're facing it and cannot. You would have to force OT. Neither of these teams want to be put in that position. It forces them into an awkward scenario, to say the very least. Luckily, for this recognized talent squad, they force Invictum back to gym and bedroom. This is an awkward position, to say the very least, here for Invictum. I don't like their odds as they head to gym bedroom.
I mean, it's their pick. They may have lost on it, but I think they're just trying to, I guess, correct their mistakes. They did. The Thunderbird is going to be probably playing it a bit more safe, not trying to get picked off so quickly and easily. So yeah, we do see a bit of a switch up. We don't see a Thunderbird, but there's an Aruni in play as well with an alibi. So healing won't be such an issue as, of course, recognize does most of the time. I guess another pun does recognize when you're down and finishes you off. So those heal stations wouldn't be as effective as they should be, but who knows? Every you can use a heal every now and then. It doesn't hurt you. Well, it does the opposite, but yeah. Let's hope Recognize does take off a bit of a bit of a different push. As I'm gonna say, they mostly push CC. Maybe they'll be splitting up, but seeing how they spawned, it's gonna be very unlikely.
Quick note, I said to push to OT. OT is not in minor, it's in major. I thought the BO2s had no OT and just ties in each map. It's minor that has no OT and just a tie in the best of one. Vice versa, I've gotten it flipped. My apologies. But regardless, they would still have to force a tie rather than just a possible map win. Still applicable, just a little less so in favor of you winning things. Recognize talent. Again, they're forcing Invictum into an uncomfortable position, and they can push this quickly, but they have to catch Invictum off guard because Invictum are being given way too much room to work with, especially with Denzar using that Mark 14 and just pushing across this bottom floor, gaining whatever room they please. This cannot happen at all.
Yeah. I mean, Siege is literally just about catching your opponent lacking, I guess you could say. Catching him lacking and taking that to your own advantage. And of course, securing yourself a bit of a better position in the match. That's what Siege is mostly about. But we already see, yet again, we actually talked about switching it up, and Razor does take out Denzer, which is going to be the alibi. Actually, the Rooney taken out, and Razor already almost getting exchanged off, but not quite. Alibi's trying to go for a bit of a refrag, sadly being pushed into a corner in bar. Not the best position you want to be right there. But yeah, yet again, Siege is a bit of a trade-off game, and we do see a bit of a split push. We don't see any CC push, so adaptivity is not going to be such a big, I guess, a big problem for Recognize right here. And Jim also being in play right now. Skull is actually Jared does take out Luke and making it a 5v3 for Recognize Howling. They're being in a very comfortable position.
They can now build off of this with their man advantage collapsing on Invictum, who have only the C4 to deny the plant, but we've seen that happen before. Not the one there, Nade lands, but not for a lethal amount of damage. It just forces the mute out of position, and unfortunately straight into the waiting arms of Chaos. That LMG does indeed land, and now with just two players alive, they can swing this on the recognized talent squad. Discount does find two, looking for a third. The swing in towards Master, not gonna happen. Shock left alone, the MX4 Storm in hand, and a 1.5X. The information not there in terms of audio. The Iana, put your headphones on, Reezer. You can give away the information. There's a second for Shock into the 1 versus 3. The 1 versus 1 does not go their way. Skull will shut it down. The attempt was there. The shots, unfortunately, not. Recognized talent. On to match point.
Was very unfortunate shock. Yet again, left in a 1v. Shock left in again in a 1v blank situation, a bit of a clutch right there. It's a bit unfortunate. I've always seen Shock in it, no one else actually. But yeah, Recognize has secured not losing and at least drawing with them, if not even winning themselves. This is gonna be their, I guess, decided match for today. But Shot was very close. If only he could have secured that finisher on Nomad. But yeah, that's where I'm going to be finishing.
I feel if you're looking at the attacking side, you're in the favor, especially when Invictum try and throw you a curveball, because Invictum can't change what they want based off of the attacking choices. On the other side of that, in recognized talent have all the advantages in the world, and I feel that Invictum's defense just isn't there to prep. I feel Invictum need to change something, and compared to the last time we saw them go Church Arsenal, we just aren't.
Yeah. Um, Pretty much, I can kind of agree with that. I mean, it's just facts. But we're going to be moving on to the final match. Now, last time we did see recognized first match.
Prep phase finishing. Sorry about that, Bob. We have some sync issues. We are a few seconds ahead of our producer, our observer, relaying everything. I think we're about 12 seconds ahead of our producer. I'm gonna see if I can fall back and catch things up. Let's see. Hopefully, I have done my very best. We'll see if things function. Oh, things do function here. So, as we head into our now unfortunate scenario of things now fixing themselves, apologies for the weird tech issues, but it is the final round of regulation. Bob, take it away.
Yeah, pretty much. As I was saying, we were downstairs and we did see actually recognized going first round downstairs. They went in a bit of a rush. So let's see, maybe we'll be seeing another Rush right here in action. But who knows? They can still play it pretty safely. But talking about that, Finka's already in a bit of a chaos. Is in chaos himself, I guess you could say, as they're attacking second floor. Not much roam presence is active there, but maybe we'll see a bit more of gunfights in first floor. Hatches not being open, and 1 minute already passing. Second floor is clear. It seems like so now they're going to be moving a bit more chillaxy on the first floor, where trouble could be slowly starting to appear. Even then, not having the Nomad in play is going to be a bit harder. But of course, attackers did get buffed a bit with the two claymores instead of one. So that's gonna be very helpful, especially just in the future on its own.
Denzar should die here. There's no way Denzar wins this gunfight. Discount's making an audio cue, but Denzar should push this. Both players swinging both angles. Oh no! What is the shots? Okay, Denzar does stay alive just barely. Skull, unfortunately, taking two gunfights at the exact same time, wins the first, but only gets the down, loses the second because of it. And now recognized talent, well, they're brought it back just a little bit, and Discount actually falls as Marga clears both of them out. Jerry, a little bit help on that flank denial. The Jackal playing their part pivotally, and into the 4 versus 2. It's the SAS op and the Italian Maestro looking to lock down this defense. It's down to Lucan in a 1 versus 4. 11 and 7 thus far in the map. Needs to clutch things up in the final round of regulation and of it entirely. One swing does drop the Jackal. The Spaniard does fall, but Lucan needs 3 more. Will not find it. The LMG will shut him down. Recognized talent take map 1 and the only map of this series, 7-5 to close it out.
Yeah, I mean, Skull being at a very bad situation upstairs, it turned out to be a kill for Invictum, but it didn't turn out to be such a good ending for them, and that is going to be, of course, recognized winning the first, actually the only match, like mentioned before. That's going to be our first match of today, and after this break from yeah, we are going to be going on a break, and after that, everyone stay tuned. We're still going to be moving on to a BO2 between another two teams, and if Light has nothing to say, that should be it.
Praetorian and Loud. Those are the two teams. It's major when we come back. A 2-map series when we return.
It's pathetic the way you fool me. Give me
Minor league's done. We move to the majors. It's a best of two on the cards for you. It's Loud Esports up against Praetorian, the minor upgrade up against the major fresh entry. I'm Time to Light. That is still Puffo Bob. A little bit darker now, as it's gotten a little bit darker over in Europe. But as it gets a little later, how you feeling about these squads?
I mean, like mentioned before, time does fly by, but these teams are the major, so we're going to be seeing a bit better plays and maybe another ace from the teams. Who knows? It's a bit unlikely to see so since yet again they are in the higher league, but who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing some absolutely astonishing plays. Yet again, we're going into Boregon, as mentioned before, a very boring map. It's been seen a lot actually, especially with Clubhouse and Oregon being in the pool just in general for too long, in my opinion. Where's Coastline? Where's Bank? We have not been seeing them too often, and with the previous game ending actually very closely, and of course a lot of intense moments happening, let's hope this game turns out to be a bit better for one of the teams at least. Now, to be honest, I guess we haven't started the ban phase, but what's your opinion? What do you think will be the main bans when it comes to operators?
Operators, I want to cover in just a bit because, well, we still have the maps to talk about. Notably, you said Oregon and Clubhouse. That's where we will head. Praetorian did pick out Oregon. So, well, Oregon's map one. Loud will start on the attacking side. Map two will be Club. That was picked by Loud. So we get to go to Club for a second time in three maps. But I want to talk about some teams' background really quick. For, well, obvious reasons, I want to see how these teams have done before. Praetorian is a fresh team. We have no information off of them in Talent League specifically. But on the other side of that, Loud went 7-1-1 in the regular season of the minor league last season and then placed second in the grand finals. They ended up losing to the Machines Soldiers Academy 3-1 in the best of five. That was a fat feels bad man for them. They ended up walking straight through esports youngsters and wanted 2-0 and 2-0 in the quarters and the semis. It just was not meant to be for them in the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, you can't always be a winner, let's be honest. That's not how teams progress, but at least they improved, and let's hope we'll be seeing that improvement in these matches. Now, it seems like both teams have readied up, so we should be slowly getting into the match as we speak about it. So, yeah. Starting off, actually, to be honest, when it comes to bans, I have not,
Hmm.
through my casting, I have not seen a lot of Flores or any types of operators like that. But to be honest, Flores, this is one of his strongest maps, so let's see. Or if he doesn't get banned, maybe we see him played a bit more. Or if banned, let's see. I guess I'm hoping a bit of Miro. I haven't. It's always been the same loadout for me, to be honest. But I haven't been seeing a lot of a bit. I guess seasoned characters as much. But yeah, Praetorian right now going for the first ban, which is going to be on tack. We do get some have funs in chat, so positivity is always welcome. We see also Mizuno, and yeah, that's gonna be from the side of Loud. But yeah, talking about actually the dual ban of Cade and Thatcher, they are instantly removed. I mean, Thatcher yet again not necessary to be banned, but it's always a go-to, I guess you could say.
Thatcher being a first ban, about as unsurprising as things get. Flores being that second ban, also unsurprising. I see Flores banned a lot in NA. They don't feel like dealing with that inside of Dirt for obvious reasons. It's very easy to clear things out towards that dirt slash construction slash blue side. Whatever you call it, it's probably called something else for somebody else's competitive team. Cade being off the board, unsurprising. With the Thatcher being banned, they want to take away the Cade and remove that availability of the Electro Claws to hide in different positions. My favorite is inside of the dresser and master bedroom. You could shoot it open and throw a Cade there. It electrifies the left side of the master closet wall. Very, very fun. Valkyrie, the last ban, again unsurprising. It's nothing too out of the blue.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't expecting a Cade Thatcher ban as Cade is decently strong, like mentioned before, but there's always a way to take him out. And we're gonna be moving first round. We're gonna be moving into Laundry, and we already see a mirror pick, which is also an extremely strong. And it seems like Smoke will also be probably, I can only assume, holding elbow. So it's gonna be a pretty shelfy or a pretty shieldy push or hold, I could say myself, on defense. But yeah, as we're still loading in a bit on attack side, I haven't yet again from my casting experience up until now, I have never actually this season seen a freezer and laundry push. I've always seen bunker, tower, meeting. It's always been the same over. So I'm kind of hoping. All I can do is hope and bring out the copium, that they will change it up a bit, as these are, of course, major teams. So it's always a lot of adaptivity. So who knows? Maybe we'll see a bit more of that.
I feel that the multi-dimensional pushes are always favored. It's not really up to where you push specifically, it's how many angles you push from. I could push down blue stairs in towards dirt from main stairs and from freezer all at the exact same time, and I feel like it would be just as helpful as if everybody pushed from one specific position. You don't want to consolidate everything, but you also don't want to overexpand yourself on the attacking side. Loud will be locked in terms of their operators. Shark will pick up that Twitch. I love the Twitch pick. It makes it awesome to play on this attacking side. And the F2, well, it does help that the F2 is kind of nuts.
Yeah, most definitely the quick pick. It has been. It's always good for one of the teams, to get a quick peek off this type of, like, I guess you could say, ground. There's many ways to call it, but since it seems like it's still time is being wasted. It's always good to have that. But right now we are seeing a bit of a push, and also Aruni and Maverick starting to trade blows slowly. The HP not being in favor, but of course you have a remote Finca on the way, so Maverick should be fine and patched up any second now. And already 1 minute in. Time is flying by really quickly, and not much ground has been taken as Forever still standing in tower, not allowing anything to go through as easily. Of course, Finka pushing down. I don't think she realized that there is someone right next to her. This could be an easy pick if corrected, and Forever does take out the Finka without much of her adrenaline surges being, of course, forced out of her. So it was a decent pick, and actually a very unexpected angle from a Rooney River.
I unfortunately see that played all the time in T3 in NA. I have the availability of having multi-regional experience, and NA plays that way too much. I clear that angle in ranked now because of how much I see it in my comp play games. It is fun to play and fun to catch someone out on Forever. Lucky to be alive does make it out and away from that nade. Also takes away the hard breach, so no quick strides back into this one for Loud, at least not quickly enough. I'd like to focus on Praetorian, who are looking overall good. On the other side, Loud need to push this and quickly. They have that hard breach available in terms of last move on that Hibana, but the Maverick relatively insufficient now as time continues to tick off the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's already 45 seconds, and Execute is slowly going down as the Rooney does get her second kill off on Baxter, but someone's there already to revenge it, and that is going to be a refrag on Forever. Rather, Cole's still trying to secure his ground, taking out Diana on Baxter. This is going to be a 4v2 for the attack inside. Loud in a very hefty position, getting taken out on Pillar. Hibana has secured Pillar for herself, so Twitch and Hibana right now they're in a very tight position with Smoke not having much more canisters, but there's still three people to rival their, I guess, gunfire. And Bunker is not going to be taken, leaving Smoke a bit distracted and confused, thinking anyone's going to go there. And Bomble does take out the pre-last character, and that is going to be a 2K for the Mirror. And they're sadly missing up a bit of the C4, but winning the first round on defense, it seems like.
Bombi with a double and C4ing their teammate. The reason it actually popped right in front of them is because it knocked off their teammate, the smoke running across the screen. A good, clean finish for Praetorian, though. They kicked things off on a strong note. They finished things off in that same way. Few weird frags in the middle of it, but it didn't cost them anything. Overall, a strong showing for them in that first round of play. You need that first round to go in your favor. Now, notably, this is their map pick, and they do get to start on the defensive side. But as we head into the latter stages of this map, do they have that staying power on the defense? It's difficult. Okay. I smell a rehost. And yep, that is the case. It's rehosts. It is Soundbug. Oh my goodness. You get to take a look at us. Yay.
Ooh, we all love to see it. A good old rehost now and then. You love to see it, but it's a bit of unfortunate. I don't think it was their intention to make a player leave, or maybe just a tactical timeout. It's all tactically planned for them, but using a rehost like that is going to leave them without any for the remaining match. So yeah, while we get back into it, first round was secured by Praetorian. Actually, Praetorian, I do apologize, by the Mirror at the end there, which was very nasty shots included. Yeah, it was a bit of it was unfortunate at the end, but yet again, this is a bit more defense sided. So getting it even or at least more points for Loud would be pretty good for them, leaving them at the end a bit in a better position while the roles switch. So yeah.
Unfortunate scenarios. Welcome to Rainbow Six Siege. Technical issues and streams of R6. Name a more iconic duo. I can't, sneakily enough. I don't have one. We will head back into things in just a second. Quick shout out, by the way, to our production team running everything in the background. Wombi is our observer for today, taking a step away from the casting desk and filling in to control the cams, while Epsilon's controlling our cams. That's why you're able to see us, hear us, and see the game itself. They're both awesome. Go follow them on Twitter. I don't know their Twitters off the top of my head, but I will put them in Twitch chat as soon as I find out and as soon as this delay catches up. And by the time the delay catches up, I'll have time to go on Twitter because we'll be back at the game, thinking ahead of time. By the way, all right, Epsilon just said no delay. Haha, jokes on you. I know that's not true because I have the Twitch sitting next to me. So that's cap. Epsilon's full of it. I remove my shout out of Epsilon. It's just one B who's cool.
Taking it back in an instant as soon as something goes up, eh? Well, that was a quick switch from there. But yeah, you always got to shout out the production team. They're doing the hardest work out of all of us here. I think. I'm not sure with that. But yeah, as we're getting back into it, yet again, we can't make predictions on which team is going to win. But I guess we can just guess due to stats being a bit more visible for one team more than the other yet again. It's a bit of a guess right here, but who would you go for if possible? Like,
Ooh, well, I saw Loud a lot last season. That was my benefit of casting a decent bit of minor games, including towards those playoffs. I got to cast them in the semifinals. Very good game. They beat Wanted. Very exciting to watch. But in that same right, that was minor. We are now in major, as are Loud. They have to play best of twos in the regular season compared to the best of ones they played last season. It's really both sides of the coin. Yeah, they played well, but can they continue to do so in our now 7th season of Play in Talent League, by the way? Yeah, by the way, welcome to season 7. If you weren't here for last week, this is play day number 1 of week number 2. There's a lot of Siege coming your way every weekday, I believe, for the next 6, 7, 8, 19 weeks. I don't There's a lot of Rainbow Six coming your way, Monday through Thursday and or Friday until the middle of June. That's how much Siege we've got for people. That's cool, right?
it's a lot of siege, a lot of seasons, a lot of time to be spent. But hey, you have fun watching this.
No, it's
Don't
time to
lie.
light. It's not time to be spent. What? It's
But
time to light.
it's time to light. Yeah, you could say so. Um, but pretty much, yeah. Talent League again popping up. So you always can get some time to watch us. Um, pretty much that's it. But yeah, uh, that's all I have.
One quick note, just to highlight for all of you, if you're looking to get involved with Talent League, we have staff signups open. Go into the Talent League Discord, go into our announcements channel, go sign up to be staff because we need staff. We need y'all to help us so we can do this and the players can play. It helps us maybe run stats, maybe just be here, be an official. I don't know. Go sign up, be staff. That would be awesome. You guys could help us out, just like we're here for y'all. We also need producers. So if you like pressing buttons and like using OBS, there's your call. However, my talking about absolutely nothing is done. We're going to head back into the game. Round 1 already done and dusted. Into round number 2. Operator bans have already been done, obviously, as has our first round. Praetorian, a good start on the defensive side. Can they now build off of that as they head to the second floor?
Yeah, I mean they're switching it up a bit. They won downstairs and they're going upstairs. So we do see a mute, and yet again, Bandit is not picked as mute is just more expandable. He doesn't waste more time, but he's a bit more safe, I guess you could say. So while that's going to be happening, I do want to see. I mean, we see the Maverick Zofia combo, so we can probably see the Attic Master take already. But we do see Ayana, so maybe a Junkrat as well. So on Junkyard, a bit of a push as well.
I thought you
Maybe
said
the
Junkrat. I'm not gonna. I hate to cut you. I thought you said Junkrat.
I know I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. I
I'm,
thought I was crazy. I was like, wait, this isn't Overwatch.
yeah, I was for a second I was casting Overwatch. They switched up the games a bit, but we're back. We're at least I am. English is a bit of a rough time sometimes. But yeah, whereas DC actually Bombi did switch up for the 416 carbine of the Vector. So maybe as long as he has a good gun, I think Bombi can absolutely frag out, as it showed last match with 2 kills and finishing off the round. And upstairs is it's like most. I think that all siege maps that are upstairs already have like 3 or 4 points that need to be executed as an attacker, or otherwise you lose. At least that's how it seems like. But we have not been seeing much spawn peaks. In the previous round, we have catch some spawn peaks and runouts and stuff like that. This is major, so maybe a bit cautious. But we already see Bombi. I think that's going to be a bit of a T3 play right there. It seems like, at least, actually going into T2. He's going to be securing and wasting a lot of time right there, especially for anyone playing or anyone trying to push attic.
The attic push is always important, especially in the top floor hold. It allows you to build off of a multi-dimensional attack that you're looking to push towards the basement. Maybe you clear that out quickly and you're able to push in towards large tower. Bombi getting droned out. There's the information. They can now take that info and push off of it. The question now is, will they? Methic's just waiting here towards the trophy room, trying to find a kill. The kills may find them. Luckily, everybody stays alive. No early kills nor deaths on either side. The Jaeger flanking down below, though, I wanted to keep an eye on them because they could be a thorn in the side of this loud attack if they continue to push towards large tower.
Yeah, Jaeger's a big threat to team right now, or to Team Loud, I should say. Right now, Bingen actually in elbow, very cautious for any flanks. There doesn't seem to be a Nomad, but drones still do exist. And Maverick and Zofia, yet again, the dream combo, I guess you could say. Pushing up in attic too slowly, actually. Not using those feet Maverick holes, but switching it up to a bit higher. So, pretty much. Right now, currently, Bombi is very confident. Even Malusi backing him up with a bit of support from Meeting. He's in a place where he wants to be, but gets thrown out and immediately just moves back. And someone into Freezer already running in to try and deny that. It seems so.
I don't know how I feel about Praetorian's roam here. It's a good overall idea, but the execution has to be there for this to work. Methix is clearing out the Jaeger down below. They do remove that mute jammer, but now there's the info. They're well aware of Forever's position. Will the swing come through? That's the real question. Yes, it does. There's Team Loud crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and clearing their corners with drone information play. Good nade, pushing Coles out of position, and another kill there for RP. This is falling apart here for Praetorian, but they do bring themselves back into it. It's a 3 versus 3 with just 30 seconds left.
Yeah, attic taken, but Smoke's still pretty steady with a shotgun and one canister. Pushes up to Maverick, finishes him off, and that's going to be a 3v2 for the defense side. Now, attic doesn't seem to be very heavily challenged. We have one repellent kit, but gets taken out by Bombi. Actually, the Zofia pushes up into attic window, but gets denied by Rafea. That is going to be the Smoke SMG 11 for you in a nutshell, I guess you could say. And that was a quick execute by, of course, Team Loud, but it got denied and traded off by Praetorian very quickly, I guess you could say so.
Strong second round from Praetorian. Again, they play their advantage. They had the information on that attic push. Yeah, both players inside that attic hold did die to Arbo on that Maverick. However, it was traded back, and then they built off of that trade the other way. Therefore, Praetorian Loud, that was a good indicator of their skill and their team play. They played it together and as a squad. Unfortunately, well, we didn't see them build off of it in towards the end of the round. That's what ended up costing them. And now, Praetorian up 2-0. They head to their tertiary bomb site. It is Meeting and Kitchen, their option. I've seen teams inside of Talent League and inside of other European leagues pick up Kitchen Dining, where they favor a showers and small tower hold. NA is just not playing that way at all, and I feel like EU's taking a page out of their book because holding small tower is the bane of my existence.
Holding small tower can be a real a real life or death. It's either you challenge or get challenged. It's kind of that type of situation. But right now they're in meeting, so it shouldn't be much of an issue for them to hold, as meeting is actually a very, I guess, expandable site. You can go from hold it from below, maybe above. It can be anywhere. And already see Finka repelling in, seeing there's a bit of a bit reinforced stuff without getting droned in. It seems like, well, probably a pre-placed drone, as I can assume safely. But yeah, meeting is it's a very interesting site. It can be held from many ways or many variables, but attic is like the main one, I guess you could say, since both the hatch is extremely safe and the spot you're in can be hardly denied, unless sadly, the grenade meta is in, so it's going to be a bit tough. But yeah, we do see still an Ace and Maverick in play, so it shouldn't be too hard for them to take out attic and second floor, so it should make it a bit easier taking out just meeting in general. But it's getting actually Mutricked, and there's going to be a bit of a trade from Bonnie right there, as he gets taken out from attic and takes out a person in attic. So it's same spot, but different people.
1-for-1 trade overall, not really favoring anybody. No real damage past that taken other than Shark, who's dropped just below that 50 HP margin. Coles is in a good position, if I do say so myself, to deal with any possible roam on this top floor, any possible attempt at a roam on the top floor from the attacking side. They need to clear this out, though, and quickly at that. Rafa, lucky to be alive, getting shot in through that same hole we saw earlier. Looking to pop a Toxic Vape early. That is much earlier than you need, and the nade does pop in through the drone hole, finding one. Shark removes Coles on that top floor, so that roam is now down, but as is Methix. Down goes the Finka. Overall, the 2-for-1 trade favors this Loud side, but Dano still alive, as is Forever. Dano the only one with a frag between the two players, but can still frag out from this close position. Speaking of which, does find one. It's into the 2 versus 2. They need more of it. Forever actually finds one of their own. It's down to just RB. Not going to happen. Arbo falls. Forever will drop him. 2 kills, by the way, for the MP5 wielding Lucy, and a strong finish to the round for the defensive side. Praetorian up 3-0.
Yeah, that changed up the outcome really quickly. I mean, it was man advantage for Loud there. They had sight, they had man advantage, still some utility. But, of course, Praetorian not allowing anything like that to slide through. And just one mistake from Loud did manage to get them a loss. Actually, it was very close to being their first round of the day, being won on attack, but it didn't seem so, as Praetorian did deny it instantly. But yeah, talking about new rounds, we're just going to be moving on into Laundry. Just simple Laundry. They've won 3 rounds, and now they can still go dining in kitchen, but I think Laundry's just a better set in general. And now also moving in with a mirror again, Bombi ready to use that vector to its full potential, and a bit more of bunker plays. I think some adaptivity. Maybe we'll see a bit more of a play on the side of Loud. We also see a switch on Hibana, which is always a good pick. You want to get all the hatches and have a backup like Maverick or Hard Breach devices. It's always good to have a backup or two.
Layering of utility. That's what I like to call it on either side of play, whether it's on the defense or the offense. I actually saw it yesterday. I was casting a completely different league, but it was where a team had layered utility between every single one of their players to the point where it was Bank, they brought an Osa, and the only thing that was really bringing the comorbidity with that Talon shield on Osa was one of their teammates named Talon. It was a terrible joke with the name puns, but still relatively applicable. They had 2 different hard breach tools. They had 2 different ways of playing soft breach as well. One sledge, one with those breach charges. That's what we need to see out of Loud, where they can layer that on the attacking side, and even if they lose one player, they can still bring that back with somebody else. This is a situation where it's a little bit more diverse in terms of their utility. They have the Hibana with that long-range, singular-use hard breach, but in that same right, Arbo, on the opposing side of said coin, has that long-term use, close-range blowtorch that can be used to clear out maybe electrified hard breach positions or electrified reinforcements, and of course the Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, a Twitch, since the attacker repick is now in play, Twitch is pretty deadly, but almost actually gets instantly caught off by the Jaeger, trying to go for its last breath and take out the mirror window. It sadly does not succeed, and now it's already past a minute into the round. Roaming doesn't seem to be such a big issue, but it's just it's such a turtle shred that it's hard to break it. It's very compact, it's very strong, and it's going to be a bit hard going through it. And Maverick's already a bit of a good fight. It seems like he's losing a bit of his bullets, and let's see how that actually ends out. And Twitch is right now just holding her angles. It seems like she just wants to wait for someone to come up, but she is the attacker, so that will have to be her job. Being on bottom main, maybe just denying flank and a bit of rotation in general. Bobby right now just sitting safe and sound in his little box behind the mirror. You always gotta love to see it. Laundry is still pretty safe, and since breaking the mirror, unless you use a grenade, it doesn't seem to be such an option, and still Jaeger's in play, so that's going to be a big no-no. And actually, Mismo taking out Forever in Freezer, that's going to be a bit of a play, and taking the man advantage for Loud. That's going to be very good for them, but Freezer and Laundry are getting pushed, but mirrors are still in place, so it's going to be very difficult to execute on them.
A lot of utility being thrown in to clear out Freezer, but nobody's here. They're trying to clear out that long hallway as well. Shark will find one into Bomby, but into the 3 versus 5, the defense on the back foot, to say the very least. Methics pops that Adrenal Surge, and now here comes the swing. Good Toxic Babe forcing them back, and with only 25 seconds, they have to push through this chokehold. There's one, there's a second, there's a third for this Praetorian side. From the 3 versus 5 into now this 2 versus 2. Dano is down. Rafa and Coles are still relatively high HP. Cole's taking a long-range gunfight. They really don't have to. And with that, Last Move finds one of their own. That actually just finishes them off. Rasha finishing them off entirely. A lack of English, but an abundance of kills on the defensive side. Praetorian 4-0 thus far.
Well, just like previous round, they took that one mistake, or that one misstepped guide that Loud took, and just absolutely turned the tables, making it from a 3v5 to a 2v0, winning them their 4th round on defense, and it's turning out to be very good. But yeah, we're gonna be moving on to round 5, and it seems like Praetorian is in a very good spot right now. They've won multiple rounds. It's defense sided, so it can't really go wrong. But as soon as the roles do switch, maybe we'll be seeing a lot of changes from Loud themselves. Maybe they're just a bit more comfortable on defense.
And I'd say understandably so. I'm usually more comfortable in defense. It means people have to walk into me compared to the other way around. I feel Praetorian in this situation probably feel the same way. We haven't seen too much aggression out of them compared to what we saw in our minor league game, and understandably so. It's 2 different ways to play. Praetorian seem like they're playing on a different level compared to Loud. Now, Loud are not completely getting wrecked in every single round. They're in it. It's 2 versus 1s, 3 versus 1s, but you need that consistency of trades for your squad as a whole, and we just are not seeing that for this Loud side. The attack is being hindered at seemingly every single direction, even with early control gained like we saw there. It was a 5 versus 3, yet they took so long to push. It cost them, by the way, I was talking about the lack of aggression. Never mind, Forever just gets a spawn kill. Why not, right? Methics dropped 1 and 4 thus far for the Think, and now 5 rounds of play for them. Methics, well, no Adrenal Surges for you, my friend.
Yes, Forever just absolutely tailed out the dock of the team, I guess you could say, on attacking on Loud right now. It's a bit of aggression, but you know what? If you get the spawn peek and you manage to get the kill without any major consequences or casualties, you know what? It really can't go wrong. But yet again, we do see, actually, not yet again, for the first time, we do see a bit more adaptivity on the side of Praetorian, right there on Attic. They seem to be pulling up with a shield and a Wamai, so taking them out in Attic shouldn't be actually very easy. And Bomby does take out Mismo, and also Forever taking them out, taking out Lasmo right there. It's going to be a 5v2 and Diffuser on the bed in Master Bedroom. It's going to be a bit unfortunate and very hard / pressuring for Loud right there. They're in a very tight spot with not having much choices. They're just going to have to push and go for frags right there.
They need to hold W on the Loud side, catch Praetorian off guard because, well, they've got nothing to work with. Here's a long angle you have to play if you're the Sophia. They do, but Cole's missed behind their shield and should be perfectly fine. The jump and really crouch peek. Oh, good night.
Oh.
All right, well, that'll do it. That's the round. I don't care how good Arbo is. 1 versus 5s as a Maverick are nigh impossible. Cole's also locking down the angle, trying to play through the Swiss cheese that is these Maverick Coles. Coles with another Praetorian with 5 in a row, keeping 5 alive. Like that, it's a flawless 5th round.
Yeah, they showed their true nature this match. They absolutely went ham with a spawn pick and even a one tap on that Zofia. It seemed like, from my perspective, it was extremely nasty, and finishing it off with a bit of a flawless, making it 5-0 for Praetorian. They're in an extremely good position for this first match on Oregon. It seemed like Oregon is their favorite, even though, to be honest, I couldn't blame them. Oregon is just, you can't really dislike or, I guess, dislike or
I mean,
love
I
Oregon.
can.
You
I could
can?
definitely dislike Oregon. I do. Actually, as it's more of a map to cast. I like it as a game to play, but it gets boring. Like, it's a map that if you have your map bans, you know, your 3 maps that pop up in front of you, unless 2 of them happen to be Oregon and Club or Oregon and Cafe or all 3, you are going to play Oregon if Oregon pops up as one of those 3. It's the sad reality of ranked players where they don't like playing something new. I understand banning Favela and Emerald Plains because Favela is an awful map and Emerald Plains is Bartlett University on steroids. Plus, well, it's confusing and new and unnecessarily awkward to play. It's a donut on the top floor. Like, how much more awkward can you get? Nonetheless, I digress. Praetorian aren't. They are winning, and well, in style. 5-0 through 5 rounds. It's not looking great in terms of loud esports. Overall, I'm doing some quick math. They have 8 kills through 5 rounds. That's not great for all of you wondering.
It is not. That is kills worth of pretty much 2 games, I guess you could say, rather, even with a post-plan situation included. But you know what? I take it back. You know what? People can hate or absolutely love Oregon, but that's just my experience on its own. But yeah, Praetorians still being, if they win this, they're going to match point, which is going to be extremely good for them. And if they decide to go a bit more easy, they can still give a chance. But Bomber, they're taking, actually being the first one to get some HP dropped off of him, it doesn't seem to be going so well for his side, I guess you could say. And since they are playing Meeting and Kitchen, it's yet again an attic. Well, with Meeting and Kitchen, you need attic. It's like a must, or otherwise you just lose sight and it's game over. But not much is happening currently. Just normal basic strats. Maverick using his torch to open up the wall. It's what we love to see always. But actually, already some damage being taken off. Not yet. My bad. My audio heard the splash sound effect. Yeah, well, Mai's still holding his ground in attic, ready to take gunfights, not allowing them to go so easily. Still some more my gadgets in play. With a grenade, and Zofia's also being used. He's in a very, not that tight of a spot actually. He's pretty confident right now, even going for a bit of a peek. And criticality is already included. The sledge almost picking off smoke, but not being allowed. So the smoke does actually mask himself off and sneak away in style, adding some more style points to Praetorians right now. Match, but does get taken out, and of course also traded off. Finka right now laying on the floor, it seems like. Not finished off, it's not a complete trade, but hey, better than nothing.
You just used her adrenal surge as well, so she's not able to pick herself up. She should have a teammate right behind her, but Mythics will stay alive. Extra adrenal surge is used after the cooldown does indeed expire, and they are picked right back up. Everybody back up above or to their full HP margin, other than Mythics here on the attacking side. 5 versus 4. Now that the 4 versus 4 as Coles drops 1, Forever with one of their own, the MP5K and the MP5 respectively, finding 1 each. This is exactly how you come back in this round. Hero plays from your anchors. Mythics trying to get aggressive, will be dropped. Bomby with a swing, dropping that Finka. No more adrenal surge for you, no more HP for the rest of your team. Last move, 1 versus 3. Finds the first, finds the down under the second, but needs even more. AK-12 in hand, along with the diffuser in pocket, but needs to get it down. 7 seconds is required to put that on the floor. The swing should be there. That may just do it. That should be the round. There's the kill, the triple, but not enough. Bomby will shut it down. Praetorian, a 6-0 half. Flawless, to say the very least.
5 more bullets in that AK, and it could have actually changed the full outcome for that ace. It was extremely close, and it was getting very intense for both teams. But Bomby, of course, the MVP, absolutely clutching it up at the end, not allowing such opportunities to go by, of course. And Praetorian being in a 6-0, they are 1 round away even maybe 7-0ing Loud rather. It doesn't seem to be looking. It isn't looking the brightest. That we can say that for sure. But
What?
you know,
What?
Loud can still bring it back. It's still possible. It's defense, and I guess time will tell.
Unfortunately, I'm not a fortune teller. However, I can tell you it's an extremely difficult position for them to be in. Loud down 6-0. They require now 6 in a row back the other way, just as Praetorian did it, but in now a different order. They opt to start on the top floor rather than picking second. Notably, that should move them down to the bottom floor as their second round in tow, and either kitchen meeting or kitchen dining as their tertiary bomb site. Seems like a weird extension here for the defending side, trying to play down below and towards the meeting side as well. Interesting, to say the very least, but a justifiable one as well. Maybe a curveball is what they need here for the Loud defense.
I mean, like we said, like mentioned by you, Light, we're not fortune tellers. We can't just say what will happen, but yeah, it's still a bit of a hefty position to be held in, and yet again, one mistake can go completely. One mistake from Praetorian, and it can completely change a round up, like they've been showing us this entire match. And since we already see a bit of Thunderbird in action, and think it's a bit of yet again another support class, I guess, or a healer class trade-off right there. But we don't see as much Heart Breach or Heart Breach backup from Praetorian. We only see Habana and Shield's lost. That is going to be a very hard push to make for Praetorian. I mean, she has to be very secure right there. One wrong move and she may even lose the round for all we know. Now, with 45 seconds running out, it seems to be a master and big window push. Actually, kids window as well. They're coming from everyone. It's just a push in. It's absolutely insane. And for ever already taken out Baby Shark or Ruben, I say myself, and also another one almost getting caught off. Thunderbird being very close to her deathbed. It's already a man advantage for Praetorian, and a lot of ground seems to be covered.
Timing, catching the better of both. Methic's lucky to be alive. Bommy, unfortunately, not finding that free frag. The LMGE will not land shots onto its prey. They're looking to prep a C4 here on the defensive side. They can do just that. Last move is on the other side of that one. Arbo looking to lock it down as the smoke. This is actually the SAS operator sitting in this position. Nade thrown through, finds nothing other than just sectioning power. Sometimes that's all you need. They're looking to initiate and quickly at that here on the attacking side. And with all this utility being thrown in, it's forcing them back. Cole's dropping one. Down goes Mies, and this is just falling apart. Luckily, Deno's dropped. Methic's finding one as they back up onto the site, but being dropped just as quickly. Arvo needs to reinitiate here. The two SAS operators here on the defensive side. The lone Brit, as last move is left alone, has a C4 available. That's going to whiff entirely, forcing themselves back onto the site. 1v3 for a retake and a post.
Yeah, right now it's going to be actually canceled the post plan and redoing it. It's a bit of a weird turnout of event, but it's still 1v3, and Coles does make it a 7-0 flawless win for Praetorian right there. That went quicker than expected actually. That is going to be the first match for Praetorian.
Clean first map, to say the very least. Oregon goes the way of the team that picked it. The defensive side just looked better, at least in the first 6 rounds, and well, as they switched the attack, they took a lot of control, and overall, they had good, even shots landed as well between the squad. Nobody really taking the reins over anybody else, forever hitting some important shots through and through. But I have to highlight, it is a good position for Praetorian to be in. They will head on to Clubhouse, which is the map pick of Loud, but before that, we're going to head to a break. Don't go anywhere. It's our final map of the night. It's Clubhouse when we return.
With your ways, it's so perfect the way you let me. It's magnetic the way you pull me.
Sorry, was personifying loud esports after map number 1. Sleeping at the wheel, to say the very least. Apologies for the terrible bit, yet the very applicable joke. Map 1 done and dusted 7-0, and a quick finish, to say the very least. But as we head into our second map pick, that means it's Loud's time to shine. Hopefully, they can get a little louder than they did in map number 1. Quiet, to say the very least. By the way, I'm time to late. That right there is Puffa Bob, and Puffa Bob, we're ready to
Yes.
go.
We are both ready, I do believe. So, I mean, we took a bit of a nap, but we're already back into it. I mean, that blanket was really cozy. I almost fell asleep. But let's hope that Loud can manage to boost up the audio a bit more this match and clap back with a 7-0 themselves. And a bit more of a, I guess, adaptation. We haven't been seeing it much, but starting off, Predatorian is going to be banning Hibana. Just a casual ban. We always love to see it, probably with a Thatcher and Cade following up. But yet again, we're just going to have to wait these excruciatingly long 10 seconds, which I'm going to be talking for constantly. You're just going to hear me for this 3, 2, 1. And the ban is going to be, ta-da, it's going to be Maverick, not Thatcher, which does leave the question, will Cade be banned? Because if Cade is not banned, Thatcher shouldn't be either. But maybe they'll switch it up. Let's hope the teams do work this out and actually come up with a solution themselves at the end. But yeah, Thatcher not being banned is going to make it a bit harder for Predatorian there, and Mira does get removed. So the plan of Cade now getting banned doesn't seem to be in plan as much, and maybe we'll be seeing a Valkyrie ourselves.
Well, with actually, wow, a Cade. Why would you ban Cade when Thatcher's available? I'm no expert in this game by any means. I just talk about it 3 or 4 days a week. Praetorian, a questionable ban to say the very least, banning out the Cade, bringing the Bandit with Thatcher available. They've got to be bandit tricking. If I don't see a bandit trick here, I'm going to be extremely upset. And if I do see one and I don't see a nade from Loud Esports to deny it, I'm going to be even more upset. This is... I don't usually say this. I'm confused as to the call here for Praetorian, and in the same right, Loud Esports make the most sense in this game. Even after going down 7-0, I'd have to favor them, at least in this first round. Mira being banned was a normal ban, as was the Maverick. They don't want to deal with the Maverick, they would rather deal with that Thatcher. But Praetorian on the defensive side, with Thatcher being on the board, should not be bringing the Bandit. It makes no feasible sense, because you're almost certainly going to be using the Bandit batteries on the main CCTV wall out towards that balcony / weird external part, whatever the heck people call it nowadays. It's useless. I'm sorry, I don't understand the Bandit.
Yeah, I mean...
And he's putting them here? I'm done.
So, we may have just lost a caster, so now you're kind of stuck with me, but you'll manage to get through. But, yeah, with the Bandit being right there, it's a bit tricky as well. If he would have stayed there for a few seconds, that may have been a death penalty. But I think they gave up on any Bandits. Actually Bandit going for a bit of a trick, it seems like. Actually, not a trick at all. But yeah, a third Bandit almost getting pulled out. Thatcher's already putting down his claymores, using both of them, it seems like, to the best of its use. Of course, the 2 claymores being very good, as the bit of a attacker buff is seeming to be in play. And we're already going for main breach, which should be doing... It's been over a half a minute, actually. There's some joining. We see a Jaeger, but no Bandit tricks, so they kind of gave up on it. You can't blame them. But yeah, actually the Bandit did seem to move up a bit, but not quite, as there are still people ready for him, and he moves up into Rafters. So yeah, we're gonna have to see where this moves on to.
Rafters play is a decent call here for this defensive side. They need to lock down Garage. They can't allow this Loud side to take early control of it. Mythic's pushing down below towards Lounge. The spray in towards a singular Bandit battery, which I still don't understand, by the way. I'm going to stop questioning it, though, because it's going to make me go insane. Mismo and company still taking a lot of control towards this first floor east side, and it's quick, to say the very least. Notably, the hatch is open, so a quick rotation is available for Praetorian if they do so choose to rotate in towards that construction hatch. A Thatcher EMP going up and towards that Rafters position, allowing nades to be thrown. If they do so, please, they can play that, but forever with a flank finds one with a trade right back the other way. Dano dropping Arbo, But lucky to be alive in that same right, no longer is. The C4 whiffs, the shots from Shark will not. The L8 will drop that bandit, and Loud are now in this 3 versus 2.
Yeah, the attacker side really managed to actually use the refrags and first kills to their advantage, while Forever did manage to get the first pick. It was all traded off, and Rafa right there taking out Mismo, it seems like. So no needs from below anymore, and there's only an ace and a Thatcher, so it's a bit of a support duo they have to deal with here, which may not actually, guns are still not a problem, of course, as Bandit and Smoke are still actually in action, and Smoke starts using his counters slowly, still having good two, and it will come in useful, especially for bad situation. A default, actually a bulletproof camera getting taken out at last. Sadly, there's one on breach, one in rafters, and all they have to do is just waste 30 seconds or manage to kill them both. Rafa right now in his position, going for the smoke on the ace. It doesn't seem like the best position for him, but he will stick it and manage to pull through it, barely his life around the corner, and he gets taken out, laying down, caught lacking. And last one is Rafters, but almost takes out Bomby. Actually gets the double kill, the second pick of the game, looking for any type of flag. They are completely head-to-head right there, as he gets, Shark gets pushed actually forward, and the smoke does take that absolute timing, and I guess you could say angle, to his advantage in finishing off, winning the first round for Praetorian. It seems like Praetorian is again on a very good start right now.
I'm questioning what Shark was doing there. You're looking across to try and have them swing. Instead, you play behind the reinforcement and just stare at the window. You know their general area. Don't try and play their backup. Play your own life close range. That ended up being what costed them. A questionable decision, to say the very least, but overall a decent round from Loud. The Thatcher just unfortunately not good enough. In the end, Praetorian win the 2 versus 1. A good swing coming through and a good bit of utility to force the ace out of position as well. A good combination of utility on that defending side forces out the attackers, and well, Loud just not able to lock down what they wanted to, nor where they wanted to do it. Praetorian, with now their 8th round in a row, completely unanswered.
Yeah, it's a flawless 8th round right now. They're completely busting down the doors, you could say. And we also see a bit of a downstairs play. Let's hope we'll be seeing some more Jim and actually even maybe Bar. I'm hoping for Bar. I do not know why, but I don't see enough Bar to get some excitement out of Clubhouse. But, you know, it's always a first time for everything for all teams. But yeah, we're still in the prep phase. We see some default impact holes. You just have the default preps, as we always love to see them. And also, the Smoke and the Thatchers were in a bit of a shoot-off, and it sadly didn't end as hoped, as Loud did yet again manage to actually step a bit wrongly, and Praetorian took that on a completely another level, absolutely demolished right there at the end. But yeah, as we go into the action phase, it's the start. It's English very hard, yes. But it's gonna be a bit of a blue garage, you know, the normal push. Take upstairs, take first floor, and just push down. But time is gonna be wasted really efficiently, and Ace does sadly get some HP taken off of him. Somehow, I do not even. It seems like it was a bit more from stock or top kitchen side. But yeah, we're just gonna have to see. Actually, Time, will you tell us what will happen?
No, I will not. Sorry.
Okay.
Not a fortune teller. Not happening. Get wrecked. And I'm going to say it again, plus ratio. Loud, on the attacking side, are looking good. They have good positioning, but they don't have a lot of ways to deal with the information gain on the defending side. You have good Evil Eyes set up above in kitchen, and this can consolidate the Loud attack. If a good C4 is placed down, albeit there's only one available on Deno, but if a good C4 is placed, well, you can clear things out relatively quickly. EMP looking to be popped from above the dirt position. That will land, but I don't know if it's going to be so effective. They seem to be aware of the black eye, by the way, to clear out that camera, and they want to do so quickly. The information is there. The clear should be as well. In comes the swing, and 0 as the swing comes through. Down goes the camera. Doing their due diligence on the attacking side is the Loud Sports squad. The question is, does that turn itself into a round win, or do they fall victim for now the 9th time running?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting from the Valkyrie to even have a pre-play C4, even though 0 is playing very cautiously right there with his... The only one who can actually manage to pull through that. We have an ace, but he needs 2 of those, and he actually does get impacted, taking a lot of damage, which is pretty unfortunate. You will see Danu right there take that
Oh, no.
C4 and mess it up. It doesn't seem like the best cause, but he does manage to pick it back up and maybe wait it another time. Ace being in a very hefty situation with a gun, and Danu does take out Mixdox, and Forever also taking out Lasmo. It's a 5v3. Upstairs, absolutely Forever, absolutely dominating, taking out the Ace. All what they need now is to take out the Zero or even his gadgets, and hatches should be closed. But Moto, of course, that one's already too late. But yeah, we're running out 25 seconds, and you know what bothered me a bit? That the fact it took him over a minute to actually get into the building. I mean, droning it out all and all was nice, but it took him over a minute to even get in, and whatever, from the most unexpected angle from bottom main, does manage to take out Zero, meaning it's a 5v3, a 4v, actually a 5v2 turning into a 4v2, and a 3v1. It's left a bit unsecured. Actually, the attackers just didn't allow the absolute flawless round right there. But yet again, another round. That's going to be the 9th round going to Praetorian.
Even with a good start on the Loud side and a decent bit of map control, they stalled themselves out, and that ended up costing them on their own side. It wasn't Praetorian forcing them out, it was a good bit of utility usage on the defensive side to deny the hard breach utility used by the Zero, aka Sam Fisher. But they pushed themselves into a challenging situation in their own right. They tried the dirt push. They didn't force out any early utility from that smoke, and then were smoked off for the entirety of it. They were going to walk into the meat grinder regardless, and well, with the lack of overall control and the stall from their own squad, well, Loud Esports falls yet again. Like you said, 9 rounds running through our first and now second map. The tertiary site, the opt is Gym Bedroom. No bar stage for you, unfortunately, Bob. But it's still certainly a possibility. I feel like Praetorian, if they go up 5-0, they would make their final site bar stage, or bar as it's better now.
I have my fingers crossed for that one. I do not see bar at all, and that's the one, I guess, the Mimi site to go for in Clubhouse. It's like a blessing for casters at this point. But yeah, moving on to Jim. You know, I'm surprised we haven't been seeing much Castle from Jim today. We've seen 2 Clubhouse matches, this one being the second. Castle has not been in play as much, even though he has gotten a bit of a buff not too long ago, I guess I could say, with those 4 barricades.
Loud switching their position. I like this. It seems to be a combined lateral and vertical take. I was talking about their multi-dimensional pushes, or the lack thereof, on Oregon. This could be a good change for them, but it's all turning into a singular push. Last move looking across, trying to take out this gate. That will deny the magnets, and they can use utility off of this. This will be great. Denying the utility denial, the Uno reverse card placed down on the attacking side. The question is, does it last for very long? Shark down to just a singular EMP. One goes out. Oh, calls. What is that? Finka drop. Mephix can't stay alive for a long period of time, much less take a gunfight unrestricted. A good nade that takes out a lot of utility, but, well, it seems like the Jaeger has vacated the premises.
Yeah, I mean, top red is now pretty secure to the attacking side, or Loud, should I say. Not having much intel gathering it now. CC still seems to be under control a bit, and construction still being held very heavily by the Wamai. It seems like he will not let everything be secure so easily as it seems. Now, of course, we still have the Ace on the gym windows, pulling up a bit. They're trying to take a bit of a splish push, but Forever does manage to take out Arena Arebo, and that is going to be the 3rd kill of the match right now, with Coles taking it on Shark. That's going to be the Thatcher, Finka, and Zero out of the game. We still have the Heartbeat and the Yana, but I don't think that's going to be enough to 2v5 Praetorian right there.
Praetorian are not making mistakes. Unfortunately, Loud are. A loss of gunfights is not particularly a mistake. It's a mechanical prowess being shown by this Praetorian side. That was a trade, by the way. 1-for-1. Good headshot from the AR Rex of the Iana, leaving now last move in a 1v4. Not gonna happen. Get wrecked. Nice run out. Good swing. The SMG-11 does indeed land with the shots required. Seemingly no recoil. Somebody checks PC. No, I'm kidding. They're all running Moss. It's okay. Loud, however, not doing okay. That is 10 rounds now in a row for Praetorian. The new team coming through, the fresh faces, we'll see, seem to be performing well thus far this season.
Yeah, I mean Praetorian 10 rounds in a row l- f- without a flaw, as it seems like Loud has not been performing to their best, it seems, or so we think. They can still claw back. We cannot say anything. But yeah, Loud still being in a very hefty situation, not being able to stand up as Praetorian is being playing it almost perfectly, if not even perfectly themselves, being on the time and the correct positioning, and just nothing seems off about them. While um, Loud are doing a lot of mistakes that Praetorian does execute off them, allowing them to actually win these rounds. So yeah, Praetorian's in a bit of a bright spot right there. We're just gonna have to, yet again, we're gonna have to see. We can't. Loud is a bit behind the tail, and we're just gonna have to see where this leads off to.
Weird setup here for Praetorian. It is a CCTV cache hold, but they're looking to play vertically down towards stock. They're aware of the angles, and they want to play them themselves before the angles are used against them. I suppose the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of my angle is my friend. I don't know. You pick some metaphorical reference you can pull out, and bang, you have the round in favor of this Praetorian side. Twitch drone looking to take away a lot of its utility will find one ADS, but past that, not all that much. That ADS is important though, and while taking away the mute jammer we saw on that wall is as well decent bit of early usage on the Loud side. This is exactly what they need. Oh, never mind, especially with Forever finding that frag. 5 and 1, by the way, is Forever. This is the second time they've had a 5.0 KD, but it is turned back the other way. Mismo, on just a singular sliver of HP, will get 2 kills back-to-back, dropping Bombi as well. Awful scenarios now for Loud, but luckily, or for Praetorian, but luckily for them, the think of being off the board means Mismo stays on.
Yeah, I mean, Mismo right there took that opportunity and killed both of them, even with the adrenaline going through his veins right there. He just absolutely dominated. Maybe not having the biggest amount of bullets on the ARX, but still using that damage and the headshot utility. I guess his full potential. Getting actually the Jaeger and the Malusi, which were both roamers, putting yet again, actually putting Praetorian in a bit of a hefty spot, and Loud does start to show their true nature. Now all they need is to play it correctly and not let a bit of a gap for Praetorian to win. Now it's a garage push as well, and it seems like Zero should be able to handle it on his own, so Raptor should be in a pretty hefty spot right there. And it does get open, so CC and actually not CC, Construction and Garage seem to be taken off fairly quickly. As 1 minute is remaining, they're starting to slowly push them back to site, and in a very, very bad situation. Now we do see 2 people on site, but do we know if someone is roaming actually? Because that could.
Nobody is.
Yeah, we did. Actually, no one is roaming, so that roam could have actually changed the outcome, but Dano does take out Mismo, shutting down that streak, and Ari also taking out Kots. It's going to be a 2v3 and a 1v3 for Dano again, or Danu, however he wants to call it. Lasmo also getting taken out. Dano with a triple kill, actually taking his second kill. Now, being in the favor of HP, Zero is in a very bad spot as refrags did not come in place, and the timing was just not correct. Zero holding his angle, trying to push in, and gets pre-shot by Danu. Praetorian winning their 4th, actually 11th round in the row today. That was absolutely fantastic.
Amazing swing as well. Playing the HP advantage they knew they had. The information was conveyed prior, and the swing was just better. The SMG-11 has a higher fire rate, and when you crouch peek into an angle, you have that advantage. Of course, the SC-3000K is an amazing weapon, and everything's a one-shot headshot, but the swing and the high fire rate of the SMG-11 just outmatching Arbo on the Zero, and unfortunately, Loud remain on 0 rounds. Praetorian with 4 in a row. They head back to the Church and Arsenal rooms for their now 5th round on the defensive side, looking to make it 5 in a row here, 12 in a row overall, and threaten for the 14-0 entirely. I'm going to say it because I want to Caster's Curse it. I want Loud to win a round. I don't think I've been biased many times. Usually it's when I'm looking for a 3rd map, but, you know, there's no possibility of 3rd map. I just want to see more Clubhouse.
I mean, there's not going to be more clubhouses. Praetorian keeps on playing how they are, and same with Loud. To be honest, I kind of agree with you, but I want to see a 7-0 again, just because I've never experienced a 14-0, even when I played myself. So it's going to be a bit of a fight for Loud just to try and secure not getting flawlessly defeated 2 times. But yeah, we almost saw right there the 0 previously round. Almost actually, it was a 3v1 pretty much, and Fu just absolutely dominated with the SMG. He was always playing that smoke, and it seems to be his fit. I think him and Smoke are in a very good relationship. Maybe he even knows the guy in real life, which I doubt, but hey, who am I to judge? So, yeah, right now we have a bit more of a roam presence from Malusi and Forever right there. Forever has also been popping up recently. He's not the top fragger, you know, he's challenged by the new, but he's not been doing the most. And nobody's going to take out Forever with the second hot hand of the team. And he's already in first floor, so second and first floor seem to be secure for now.
This is exactly what Loud need. A good opening frag onto a fragger. Down goes the Aruni. No more fragging power from Forever, who now is 5-3. The last time I mentioned them, I was talking about them being 5-1. I was about to say they have a 5.0 KD, and then of course they died. So, you know, there goes my point. It's down to a, what, 1 point something, 1.66 if my math serves me correctly. Don't do math on stream, kids, by the way. Not a great idea. Usually wrong. But luckily for Praetorian, they've been relatively correct in their calls thus far. Good droning for Loud again. It's not a lot of mistakes being made, it's just gunfights being won here for the defending side. And time again, it'll cost them. Loud can't win their gunfights, and that's what's costing them. Nothing else I can really pick out other than maybe consolidation of time where they're forced into awkward positions is the real notion there. The Ioniclone does take out the Syria Gate. Now with 80 seconds left, Loud can push this. They have the man advantage. They have the utility in their favor. It's just a matter of executing the execute.
Yeah, what we've been seeing with Praetorian, though, is every single bit of a mistake, even if it was just a tiny bit. Praetorian took that mistake of Loud's and absolutely turned it around. So we've seen it before, so we can probably see it again on Loud. I mean, they have 1 minute remaining, so time is not that big of a racetrack right now for them, as we still have droning, we still have a lot of utility to waste. But Praetorian and Cole's already evening up the score face, and of course Danu with a double kill, absolutely making it from a 4v5 to a 4v2 on their side, and that's gonna be the turn of events. And Bonnie also taking out the on bottom main. That's gonna be the turn of events I was talking about.
1v3 now from Ismo, trying to replicate what we saw in the previous round. Unfortunately, they are not a smoke, and, well, they're not going to win even one gunfight. Danu does finish things off. The MPX does come out on top of that duel. Nice swing as well. The Iana dropped, headshot landed. Fifth round gained. Praetorian, insane. Barbar?
No.
No. They are boring. Praetorian are looking for the 7-0-7-0 rather than the 7-0-5-0 meme. I feel like both would be equally as rewarding, but one would be a little bit more entertaining overall.
What would be just better for us from this point? But hey, they want to get a 14-0, and they're working hard for it. And it seems like it's working out pretty well from them, especially with how they had the man advantage Loud a couple of times. They had it in their bag, execute ready, but Praetorian just turned the tables upside down with just a slither of a mistake, like mentioned previously. And of course, it was always Cole's or probably Danu's switching it up, even Rafa once. But hey, it was always very nice to watch. So continuing on, we just have a default position. We have everything just securing CC, securing construction, not letting everything go past. So maybe Loud isn't playing a bit more passively, and they want to go for a bit of a rush. So it's not probably going to happen. But hey, just like with the bar thing, I'm just crossing my fingers right now.
I'm both crossing my fingers for a 7-0 and for a 7-5. I want the 7-0 because that hasn't happened thus far in any of our seasons. I'm checking back, and it has yet to happen. Even since the introduction of how we play our best of twos now in the Major League. No, No, I have now looked through every single season. It has yet to happen at all. That's how extreme this would be. It's been so difficult for teams to string rounds together time after time because of how close a lot of these teams are. But Praetorian initiating themselves into this, really showing up loud. Methics is down, can stim themselves back up and does use the Adrenal Surge to get back up to about 30 HP, but are now in a difficult position. Nade goes in, forcing Rafa away. That'll explode the shield and explode about 50 HP from Rafa's pool, but it may not even matter. Forever just jumps out and drops last move. That is aggression and confidence being exuded from this Praetorian side, and they're doing so in a good light. It's not being shut down, and Loud need to shut it down if they want to have any hope at winning this map, or even winning a round in that case.
Yeah, I mean, Sharkwright are even being extremely close, but getting smoked out and finished off by Coles. It's a 5v3, and Loud doesn't seem to be in the best position. Was backing off, not being as confident as Rafa, but also Zero managing to refrag Bomby, but Mismo getting taken out by Coles again. Coles is on a streak. This is his second kill, maybe even a 4K from his side, we'll see. But yeah, right now 1 minute 10 seconds. Loud doesn't seem to be in the best position, as also one of the most essential operators got taken out quickly, and it was Ace, of course, that being the main hard breacher. So yeah, right now Loud yet again not in the best the position they wanted to be. It seems like the round is being a bit more Praetorian sided, since all they have are just window angles and the roof, so they're not really in the building, not taking any cover. So yeah, it's going to have to going off of refrags and absolutely just going ham on the defense side.
Loud are playing information as they usually do. Notably, Arbo is playing the Zero, but really isn't using the Argus cams to their advantage, and really isn't using the Argus cams at all. That'll do it. Praetorian win 13 straight. They have yet to lose a defensive round between Clubhouse and Oregon. And now, as we head into what may be our final round of the match, it will be the shortest match in Talent League Rainbow Six Siege history, as long as Loud win no more than one round. They can win this round, or they can lose it. Either way, if Praetorian win 7-1 or better, it will be the best possible and the best in history result for a singular team in a best of two.
Yeah, they have been dominating today. Or Loud just didn't have time to warm up, and Praetorian played like 500 ranked matches. Or it's just the skill difference. Now, Praetorian is just using those small gaps that Loud are making and just using them absolutely against them. So right now, Loud being downstairs in church, they have been playing decently, I guess you could say, offensive. Even when they played aggressive, it started actually going towards Praetorian's side, as they just have this perfect aggression and non-aggression type playstyle. And yeah, we do see a bit of upstairs roaming. We see that Lasmo already doing some holes. Aruni, okay, we don't see much breach denial, but mute, of course, which is just casual. Kate and Bandit can't be used here. Actually, Kate is bad, so of course. And yeah, we're gonna be finishing the prep phase and going into action phase. We're gonna have to see for ourselves if Praetorian can secure a 14-0 score for today in their BO2.
Think they could do it?
Yeah.
Is it 7-0 or 7-1? Or anything different? What's the call?
I mean, right now, I'm sorry, Loud, but Malusi's already almost dead, so I'm just gonna call a 7-0 right now.
I would unfortunately have to echo that, and all credits to Praetorian. It really hasn't been that many mistakes from Loud. Yeah, they could have had a little less aggression or a little bit more aggression at different times, but it's been a lot of just gunfights being won on the defending side of the majority of it. 12 rounds won on the defense, 0 rounds lost on the defense. Now they're looking to make it 2-0 on the attacking side as well. Forever can be a catalyst to it. Thus far, 6-3. Dano is 10-2. Again, a 5.0 KD. This time it's actually solidified. I was talking about Forever's earlier on, I guess you could say forever ago, but it's been a little while since I was mentioning that one. They were 5-1, now they're up to 6-3, or down to 6-3, I suppose. Bomby dropping last move, who was 0-7 007, actually. James Bond has made his appearance known. Somebody whip out the movie camera.
Somebody whip on that 4K camera. Like I said, maybe we're going to catch off some more, some more plays from Praetorian, as this is seeming to close off to be their last round for today. Even Malusi being in an extremely tight spot. One bit closer to a grenade than she should be, and it could be her final moments. She's playing very aggressively on those holes, maybe trying to get a pick off for Lasma, who has been taken out sadly. But yeah, top floor is already taken. Flank don't seem to be much, and Buck is already actually taking some damage from the Malusi, which is very interesting. And yeah, the ground is taken. All they have sight is left, and it seems like Ace does absolutely miss the bread loaf of his, and should be Hatch pretty much gone, as Malusi does have her impact, but doesn't seem to be using them. There's going to be 45 seconds left on the clock.
Question now is, will this end it? Shark looking to get aggressive around the long hallway as that Rooney, but playing through that angle is dangerous and, well, much easier said than done. Looking to prep utility straight through it. They remove it using the ADS and that Surya gate, but the second attempt can force them out of position. Good EMP forcing them out, and Mismu does drop. This is falling apart, even if it wasn't already here for Loud Esports. Baby Shark, 1 versus 5, finds one, cannot find a second. It's actually Rafa falling to Bommy, but that will do it. The best result in Talent League Rainbow Six Siege history. 7-0, 7-0 between Oregon and Clubhouse, respectively. A 14-0 finish as Praetorian dominate and I'll even say embarrass Loud Esports.
I'm speechless. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Light. I am speechless. Praetorian, we had some history in one of the two teams, but for it to end up this horrendously, I guess it's a bit rough on one of the teams. Now, I'm kind of hoping can I get confirmation if we're gonna have an interview?
I don't think we have interviews after these. I could be wrong. I know Epsilon would know that. Yeah, no. We don't do interviews anymore. Unfortunately, with a little bit of consolidation of resources and the fact that we run 3 different games rather than what we used to in just 2, we have eliminated the interview slot.
Well, yeah, it's been, to be honest, even my first time, even when I played Siege in general, or Comp, and even casting altogether, I have never seen a 7-0 to 7-0 back-to-back mano a mano. It has been completely, it's been decently interesting to do it. It's not like every round has been flawless itself and no kills were given to Loud, but Praetorian just ended up being the winner, and that is just something I guess first time for everything.
Massive control taken by Praetorian, a 14-0 finish between our 2 maps of play. That is a W in the books for Praetorian. Unfortunately, Loud Esports take a bigger L than in the word loud. It certainly didn't look great, Bob, but that's going to do it here for us tonight or this afternoon, depending on where you're watching. Regardless of where you are, stay very safe and come back tomorrow. Uncooked and Golu take over the cast with Trippin back on production and observing. It's T4 Gatekeepers versus Vega Esports. We only have Major for you, but it's a major game to watch. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.